it's over. Do you need anything like I need you?
Yo, 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 yo.
Nothing is what I think I will drown in.
Let's go. Yeah, 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 yeah.
After you, I'm afraid of feeling
Some too soon. Cling to what you're giving. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Dude, 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗍 died today.
nothing is what I think
I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Let's go. Oh, 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 oh. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Let's go.
paint away. Day and night, 6 hearts, hope I'm okay.
You're alright, goodbye then if you dare.
Someone new is
Yeah, dude, the 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗍 thing was like, it's a little surprising. Nothing is what I say, I feel far away. Nothing is what I think, I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah.
nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think I will.
Then I'm gonna find a picture for you guys.
Is what I say.
I feel far away, nothing.
Is what I think.
Nothing is what I think. Yeah, 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 yeah. 'Cause I will drown in pink. Oh, 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 oh. Let's go. Dude. Freedom. Oh, let me find this picture. So you always will. There we go. All right. So here we go. Here's what I'm finding. So this is from 2014. All right. There's Jenny as Gene Simmons, and that was Bryce. Then, you know, I guess he was 9 years old, right? That was at a Kiss concert, and this was on the bus from the parking lot. There's me. I, of course, was 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗍. Then let's go. Oh, shit. Isn't that funny? Dude, funny stuff, huh? Wait. There we go. Yeah, isn't that funny? Dude, so all right. So the 𝗙𝗎𝗍𝗄𝗏 thing is pretty crazy, right? So the 𝗙𝗎𝗄𝗏 thing is like so when I was a kid, let me just tell you a little 𝗙𝗎𝗄𝗏 story, because he passed away today at the age of 74. And like normally, I don't really, the whole star passing away sort of thing is not a huge thing on my radar, because I don't invest a lot into, stars and whatnot and those types of, endeavors, right? But so 𝗙𝗎𝗄𝗏, though, I had a pretty interesting relationship with, because when I was a kid, I loved music, okay? I was the youngest of 7 kids. And when I was in 1st and 2nd grade, I had 4 brothers and sisters in high school. Okay. So I grew up, and then I had a brother and a sister. They were all half brothers and sisters, but they were 5 years ahead of me in middle school. So I had a lot of exposure to like the older siblings' music. Okay. So I grew up like surrounded by record albums, ELO, Black Sabbath, Journey, Cheap Trick, like you name it, right? Eddie Money, like just all kinds of shit. And so I got a lot of exposure to a lot of different music when I was a kid. Now, no one in my family was into Kiss, okay, at all. Then we moved to California when I was in 3rd grade, and we moved to this house in North Hollywood. And it was a really complicated move. It was like not very pleasant, to say the least. That first time we moved to California, I didn't have a good go of it, right? But when we moved to that house in North Hollywood, my sister met a guy who had a Monte Carlo, and he used to drink like Dr. Pepper in these long neck glass bottles. And basically, to make a long story short, what happened was, because of the nature of my step family and me being the only kid of my dad, I had like way more pull in the family with my dad than anyone else. I had a lot of political power, if you will, in my family. So what happened is, my sister, Julie, in order for her to have the run of the house, it went through me, right? My parents both worked. We had this summer, Julie's boyfriend, Mike, showed up in his Monte Carlo. And basically, if they took care of me, I wouldn't tell mom and dad. And in fact, I would spin good cover stories, because I was always an extraordinary liar for whatever reason, right? So I would provide cover, and then I would get to go along to Disneyland, to the beach, to the drive-in movie theater. I would go with them, and I would be able to just roam around the drive-in while they were hanging out. And I would get money for like concessions and shit. So I milked that. I loved hanging out with them. But anyway, that boyfriend, Mike, had Kiss albums, and he was very into Kiss, but he had kind of outgrown it. So he gave me all of his Kiss albums. So in 3rd grade, I had like 6 Kiss albums. I had Alive. I had, a 3-pack that had Hotter Than Hell, Dressed to Kill, and their original album that all came in one fold out, and a couple others. And so I then started my Kiss journey. Okay. And I was like way stoked on 𝗙𝗎𝗄𝗏. Kiss Alive 2 came out, and I was obsessed. Now, here's where it gets complicated, because Kiss Alive 2 came out when I was living in LA. They had shows at the Forum in honor of that album. Yeah, they had that movie at Magic Mountain. But so I tried to get my dad to take me to go see Kiss when they were playing at the Forum on the Kiss Alive tour, Kiss Alive 2 tour. And my dad wouldn't take me. And I was like super heartbroken. And I don't know that I ever forgave him for that, because I used to go to all his country and Western shows, and there was no reason he couldn't take me to see my show, but he didn't. But anyway, so then I waited. I didn't get to see Kiss live until they reunited at Dodger Stadium. Okay, in the 90s, they played at Dodger Stadium. The Smashing Pumpkins opened for them, and I saw them there at Dodger Stadium. Amazing show. Okay, then I moved to Portland. Then I saw them up here in Portland, the pictures I showed you with my kid and with Jenny. And then Bryce went to Seattle by himself to see fucking, right? To see Kiss. So I passed Kiss along to Bryce as well. But you know what I did get to do, guys? Okay, that's my history with the band Kiss. Always loved them. Now, when I was little, I used to put the Kiss albums on. My parents wouldn't let me have any instruments. And I used to like use a tennis racket like it was a guitar. And I would stand in front of a mirror and I would fucking rock out to Shout It Out Loud. You know, shout it, shout it, shout it out loud. You got to have a party, right? And so I used to rock and roll with my tennis racket, not knowing that eventually I would tour the country as a one-man indie rock band many, many moons later. Despite my parents never letting me have an instrument, I ultimately did tour, right, the country as a one-man indie rock band. But you ready? What I did get to see, guys, is I got to see Ace Frehley at the Coach House in San Juan Capistrano, Orange County, when I was 21 years old. I saw him in a club with an incredibly tight band. You know what I mean? I was like right at the front of the stage. There were 150 people there. It was insane. And I saw that when I was 21 years old. Ace played all of his fucking old songs, all of his old Kiss hits. It was Ace Frehley. And it was just him and a backup band, right, that he had been touring with. Coach House. It was amazing. Okay, so I've always had an Ace thing. He was my guy, dude. And after Ace left the band, I kind of lost a lot of interest in the band, right? I felt a super connection to him. So yeah, so pretty wild, huh? Dude, the Coach House. Oh man, that show was insane. Dude, that show was crazy. And I met, like, I spent the night with the craziest, like, poetess, like a poetry slam girl that I met at that show. Like, it started a wild affair with a poetry, an incredible poetry artist that night, too. Oh, man. Being 21, dude, it's crazy. Craziness. Wild times, dude. Wild fucking times, boss. Right? Oh, shit. Dude, your dad liked Motorhead? All right. Let's go. Yeah, dude. See, my dad was all like country and Western. But, man, dude, it was good shit, dude. The poetry I was into. No, she was actually a really good poet. I was into the poetry scene in my early 20s, right? And so what happened is basically, you know, that was when I was living in Redondo Beach, but then I moved to Hollywood with a girlfriend, right? Shortly after that, I had a girlfriend. We moved to Hollywood and we lived on 6th Street, okay? 6th between La Brea and Fairfax, okay? And it was like right off Wilshire. It's a great little neighborhood, a lot of brick buildings, like 4-story brick buildings. And there was a coffee shop that was, you know, walking distance. It was like 3 blocks away. And so I got pretty deeply into the poetry scene in like, this would have been like 1991, right? There was a coffee shop. I can't remember what it was called, but it was a little coffee shop right on 6th Street that had like a bunch of local art there. And I played music there and they had a bunch of poetry readings. And it was like my local, like I literally hung out there pretty much, you know, I was unemployed at the time. I hung out there most of my days. I used to sit there and just write lyrics and fucking hang out. And I don't know. I really like the early 90s sort of like slam poetry scene in LA was pretty amazing, right? It was pretty good. dude, those were some crazy times, man. Life was so simple back then, you know? I mean, or it appeared so. Oh, dude, crazy times. But yeah, so 𝗙𝗍𝗋 he was my guy. And it's so crazy though, because the way he died was, you know, he was like in his studio and he fell and I guess he hit his head. He had a brain bleed and he ended up on life support. And so his family just like pulled the plug. Isn't that crazy? It wasn't. It was. Well, so I guess the thing about the simplicity is it felt very simple, but it was probably because I was a white man. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s and 90s, life was really simple for the white guys, okay? It wasn't so simple for everybody else, right? But for the white men in the 80s and 90s, it was just like, you know, life was pretty simple. We had like zero issues, zero real problems. And I mean, that's kind of the problem, like with the nostalgia, is when we go back is, you know, we sort of like, we make it, you know, we make it seem like everything was better before technology and before these modern social changes. But really, there was a lot of issue with, you know, with people that weren't white men were like really struggling then. You know what I'm saying? You know, people that weren't white men were really struggling. You know what I mean? Dude, the crack epidemic. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of drug epidemics and there was a lot of violence. Like there was a lot of crime in LA in the 90s. I mean, people like Republicans talk about crime now and they finger wag, but like, dude, the 90s had a lot of fucking crime, bro. I'm serious. It seemed like in the 90s that like there were carjackings all over the place. Like carjacking was like the soup du jour. And so there were a lot of carjackings and there was like a fucking high-speed chase like every week, dude. I shit you not. The high-speed chases were crazy. And yeah, the OJ was like right after the fucking, right? That was after, you know, there was OJ and then Rodney King, right? All of that shit was pretty crazy. There was a lot of crime, man. A lot of crime, dude. You know? But, dude, wild. So 𝗙𝗍𝗋 died from a fall in the studio, man. It's too bad, dude. He said it was bad. Oh, in the San Fernando Valley? Nice. Yeah, I lived in the Valley. Dude, the Valley was pretty wild. Definitely did my time in the Valley. Three's Company, good show. Dude, that was a classic. Dude, I grew up on like Three's Company and shit. You know? The helicopters. Dude, the helicopters were all over the place. Boy, dude, last night's video went crazy, bro. The one about Kylie, right? The video about Kylie went nuts, boss. Right? 50-some thousand views overnight. Dude, MASH, all right. Dude, MASH was pretty crazy. You just heard the old one-man band? Nice. Dude, let's go. Yeah, dude, we've been fucking having some jams for sure. Love to see it. We love to see it, boss. Taxi? Dude, yeah, I mean I feel like the shows, dude, the shows in the 70s and 80s were pretty good. I remember like the shows I remember from my childhood were obviously Three's Company and The Love Boat and All in the Family and the Jeffersons and fucking That's Incredible was on Monday nights. That was kind of like a sort of a reality TV investigative show that like investigated strange phenomenon. In fact, Chips, yeah, and the A-Team for sure, MASH. But dude, I remember That's Incredible. The night John Lennon got shot, we were watching That's Incredible. It was on a Monday, and he got shot, and they interrupted That's Incredible for like the news that John Lennon was dead, which was like, whoa, no fucking way, bro. Dude, the Hulk. Yeah, there was another show that I really liked too. One that I loved, okay, was called The Night Stalker, right? Did you guys, it was followed a reporter in Chicago named Kolchak. It was only on for like one season, right? But it was like this crazy like reporter who used to go out and get into these weird supernatural phenomenon like sewer monsters and shit. It's called The Night Stalker, dude. Kolchak, you remember that? Dude, he was like a mess, bro, but he always figured it out. Dude, that show was so good. That was one of my favorite shows. It was only on one night, or one season, I think, or something. It was like really short. Darren McGavin, yes. Dude, that was amazing. Dude, I used to watch that shit. It would be on at like 11 p.m. Dude, shit was incredible, bro. Charlie's Angels, we watched that. Dude, crazy, man. I Love Lucy. Yeah, I never really liked I Love Lucy. Right? Right? Fucking Darren McGavin. Yeah. Dude, that was so good. Fantasy Island. Fantasy Island was on. That was like the later show. Right? The X-Files. Oddly enough, I never watched The X-Files. Right? I did not ever watch The X-Files. Never even saw, I don't think I've ever seen a full episode of The X-Files. Crazy, huh? I just didn't really have a TV. That was like a 90s show, wasn't it? And like, I didn't really watch was that a late 90s? When was The X-Files? I never watched that show. Was it late 90s? I'm intrigued when it was on, right? 93? Huh. That's weird. Because I definitely had a TV during that time. But I guess right around 94, I think I broke up with my girlfriend. And I think I may have gotten rid of my TV when I broke up with the girlfriend. That may have been my surfing years. Right? Dude, the Dukes of Hazzard. My dad watched the Dukes of Hazzard all the time. It's kind of crazy though, because now like that show would just be like, no, thank you. Right? Guys running around with the Confederate flag and shit. Like, come on, man. What were we doing, bro? Yeah, the only show that I really watched in the 90s, the only night of TV that I really watched in the 90s, guys, regularly was Thursday nights. Okay? Thursday nights was, you had Friends, then you had a show called Wings, and then you had Seinfeld, and then you had Frasier. And so it was like 2 hours from 8 to 10 p.m., Friends through Frasier. And I used to watch that Thursday night, like pretty religiously. That was a big, like, I was a big fan of those sitcoms, and obviously, especially Seinfeld. And so I used to watch that. That was like, that was the big fucking weekly event. Nadia, for real? Dude, put a link in the Discord, boss. We'll fucking scope it out. All right. So, dude, I mean, dude, I know Erica Kirk is lying. Right? I don't even need to see proof, dude. I know it. I can feel it in my bones, dude. They're all scoundrelly up to something. Seinfeld is unfunny, literal trope. So Seinfeld was interesting that like I really liked Seinfeld, but now when I see it, some of it is pretty fucking dated. Dude, Wings was a great show. Yeah, Wings was really, all those shows were really well written. But now some of the Seinfeld shit is a little iffy, right? For me, as far as like how like society is today. Seinfeld can toe the line a little bit on that offensive fucking, right? You never enjoyed it? Yeah, dude, Jenny, she hates Seinfeld. Some people don't like it. I've noticed a lot of women don't like Seinfeld because it's like a super masculine show. Different Strokes was a classic. I never watched Curb Your Enthusiasm. All right. You ready? Dude, Elaine, yeah, dude, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is amazing. See, Jerry Seinfeld is kind of like, dude, he's sort of a creeper, bro, right? I mean, he was dating like an 18-year-old girl or something when he was like almost 50, right? Yeah, Seinfeld's a bit of a creeper, but I'm saying though, 𝗙់_𝗶𝗶, that a lot of times women didn't like Seinfeld even before they knew he was a creeper, right? Just because it's pretty much a dude show. It's a lot of like dude show, you know. It was definitely a dude show. In real life, he's a creep too, dude. Yeah, dude, George stole the show for sure. And Kramer, but dude, now like Kramer had a fucking, Michael Richards had a meltdown, right? He had a fucking N-word meltdown, career crash. Dude, Jerry's a fucking, a pedo clown. The only two people that are decent is Jason Alexander, dude, George and Elaine, dude. Right? Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, he's a Zionist? Well, I mean, it makes sense to me that, I don't know. I mean, not that I'll excuse it, but, you know, people, I understand that, like, sometimes people that are Jewish and have strong Israeli ties might be Zionist. The same way that a whole bunch of, Americans are fucking MAGA. That's kind of how I look at it. I look at Zionism as like, kind of like MAGA, And I mean, dude, like 40% of our country is MAGA. So it makes sense that there'd be a whole bunch of Zionists too. You know what's wild though? What's crazy about it is how it seems like some of our country is more angry about Zionism than they are about MAGA. And that's fucking, that confuses me a little bit, right? And Zionism is worse. See, I don't know that Zionism is worse than MAGA. I just think Zionism is what MAGA is going to look like 20 years from now, guys. If you look at Zionism and the sort of ethnic cleansing of people like Netanyahu, if right wing keep winning in America, MAGA is going to look like that shit too. They're going to be rounding up non-Christians and LGBTQ people and sending them off to camps pretty fucking quick, guys. Take notes of what ICE is doing, okay? Because the evangelicals in America are no different, right? The Zionism is just more advanced because it's been operating for longer. That's it, Like, MAGA is not that far behind, bro. Like, it sucks. It's frightening, dude. It's frightening, boss. That shit is frightening. It is. Dude, every day. And I mean, we're going to watch a little bit of this too. Somebody included a link in Discord about, this sect of people in the Midwest or whatever that think there's a holy war. Like, I'm starting to notice Christians are using a lot of language like they believe we're in a holy war. And that fucking, I have a real problem with that shit, dude. I did see him address Trump. Dude, Zoran is a very good speaker. He's a very competent speaker. But all right, you guys ready? You ready to get into it? That was our 36-minute fucking television ranting, acting like Tommy political punk special intro. Yeah. Dude, they like think there's like a holy war, bro. Dude, I don't get the whole Sharia law. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that's not happening. Dude, Zoran Mamdani is like, what do they think? They think that like one guy's going to win the mayorship and all of a sudden like he's going to be able to like enforce Sharia law. Like, dude, people are so dumb. It's like, we're going to have Christian Sharia long before then, dude. You're going to have a Trump Bible, right? You're going to have Trump Bible fucking like squeezing out your ass before you have to worry about Sharia law. That shit is bullshit. People are freakish, dude. Oh. Oh. Dude. All right, you ready? Dude, I want to start with the News Nation. Okay? I want to start with this, guys. I feel like this is a place to start right here. Okay? Because this is Adam Mockler and Andrew Colvett are about to come on. This is part of the News Nation Roundtable. Okay? They had this Kennedy Center Roundtable. This was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Okay? And they had Fetterman on there. Dude, what the fuck is going on with John Fetterman? Jesus Christ, dude. Dude, John Fetterman needs a fucking boot right in the ass, boss. Like, that guy, every time he opens his mouth, I'm like, dude, will somebody please shut this guy up, bro? For the love of fucking God, bro. Can somebody shut Fettermansion up? Dude, they had Joe Manchin on this thing. Dude, but anyway, so it's Andrew Colvett. Okay? He's coming on. Now, Andrew Colvett is a spokesperson for TPUSA. And he is the guy that Candace Owens the other night, she called him a dirty liar. Okay? She did. She said Colvett was a dirty fucking liar. She's accusing him of lying. Now, there's a lot of lying going on with TPUSA. There is, obviously they're having various public relations nightmares. I think it's really interesting with this part because I know Mockler tries to get this kid to talk about, tries to get Colvett to talk about those group chats. Okay. But when does Stephen Smith when does he walk out? Does he walk out during the Colvett part? Or, dude, let's get a timestamp on the Stephen Smith. Dude, Stephen Smith, I find that guy fucking annoying, bro. I heard some people talking about him running for president. I'm like, are you shitting me? Dude, that guy needs to shut the fuck up, bro. I don't know what his deal is, dude. I guess when you get a certain level of fame, you just start thinking you fucking have all the answers. But that guy ain't the way, man. He is the guy from ESPN. Dude, that guy ain't the way. All right? He's not the way, dude. Dude, fucking dumbass, bro. All right? But this Andrew Colvett is really important, guys, because I don't know if you guys realize this, but check out what's happening. Okay, so TPUSA was this college thing. Okay, they were doing it in colleges. It was their big college debate. After Charlie Kirk's death, now a bunch of people are trying to open TPUSA chapters in high schools and middle schools, guys. They are now, because of the death of Charlie, they're trying to eke this like right-wing hate indoctrination clubs into middle and high schools so they can get those like teenage boys N-wording and F-slurring at the youngest possible age. Dude, it's disgusting. Yes. And religion, thick evangelical religion and slurs and anti-Semitism and the whole 9 yards. Dude, it's starting to happen. I've been arguing with people online. Like, dude, I am just so glad. I am so glad that my kid is out of school. I feel like kids that are having school, if you have school-age kids right now, your whole life is going to be trying to beat evangelicals off of your fucking kids' nuts. I'm serious, dude. They're going to want to look at your kids' genitals. They're going to want to monitor what books are available in the library. They're going to want to like stick a Bible up your kid's ass. Everything right now is like evangelicals just being fucking shitters, bro. Dude, there's no reason to even have kids. All right, let's get in here and look at this stuff, shall we?
Jordan, thank you. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, hopefully we'll all still be here. We all talk about how digital media matters so much. One of the biggest podcasts on the left, one of the biggest digital presence on the right. They're both here. Andrew 𝗙𝗍𝗏 from Turning Point USA and Adam Mockler will be here to talk about how social media is leading the way. Stay with News Nation.
All right, so here we go. We got fucking Andrew 𝗙𝗍𝗏 and Adam Mockler. So we got two different sides of Gen Z. Let's see how old is Adam? How old is Mockler? 𝗙𝗍𝗏 is like, I think he's in his 30s, isn't he? Uh, 31. Okay, Andrew 𝗙𝗍𝗏 is 31. Or, oh, no. Charlie Kirk is 31. Let's see how old Andrew 𝗙𝗍𝗏 is. Mockler's 22. Dude, you can't fucking give me an answer here, AI mode? What the fuck? What kind of bullshit is this? So we don't know how old Andrew 𝗙𝗍𝗏 is? Andrew 𝗙𝗍𝗏 is 23? Dude, why is it not giving me an answer? What the fuck is up with the AI, bro? Dude, Adam's 23? Yeah. All right. So, hold on. I'm going to try the fucking Microsoft. Andrew 𝗙𝗍𝗏 was born in 84. No way, dude. Is he 40? Nah. Yeah, dude. Andrew 𝗙𝗍𝗏 is 41 years old, bro. So that is nuts. No way, dude. He's 41. And like, see, this is what's wild, guys. Okay? This is what to me is really interesting. Because if you look at Andrew 𝗙𝗍𝗏, all right, if you look at him, he's now the spokesperson for fucking TPUSA. You look at this guy, right? But dude, he's fucking old, man. He's trying to be like the young dude, but I guess he is old as shit. Yeah, look at him, dude. He's grizzled, bro. Dude, they keep having these guys that are like super fucking old trying to, right? They're trying to, you know, like indoctrinate the youth. And that's really like, it's pretty smarmy, dude. It is pretty fucking smarmy, right? Yeah, 40-year-old people like getting involved. And this was the shit that Charlie Kirk did. Charlie Kirk was the same way. Yeah, exactly. I was going to lead into what Oregon Valley said right there. Was obviously, I don't know if you saw the tweet, but I tweeted this earlier today because J.D. Vance, okay? J.D. Vance went and did this PR tour saying, hey, man, the guys in that group chat, these are just young boys. Young boys are like, you know how they're scamps, right? They're always doing crazy, outrageous shit. But like, dude, the fucking, they weren't young guys. Okay, the guys in that Hitler group chat were in their 30s, guys. They were in their 30s and mid to late 20s. There was nobody in that group chat. Okay, there was nobody in that group chat that was a kid. Not one person in that group chat was even 21 or under. Okay, they're all like 25 plus. 30 plus. And that seems to be the, you know, the current theme of like young Republicans is like older men grooming young Republicans. That's what it is. It's older men grooming young boys, which, dude, Matt Schlapp, baby. They're giving him the Matt Schlapp. Yeah, nobody in that group chat was a kid. Not one. All right, here we go.
The News Nation Town Hall.
What has really been a special night here for News Nation, and I hope for all of you here and at home at the Kennedy Center. We have been discussing with players what's happening in this country, and it has gotten hot, but I think it's been constructive, and it shows why conversation has to be part of the cure. It cannot be just one side talking about why the other is worse. Nothing gets better that way. So one of the things that we were talking about tonight is social media as a dominant force in our democracy, right? I would argue probably the dominating force. So how do we show balance in that?
See, I mean, there's just so many problems with social media being a force, right? I mean, because obviously the number one problem is it has no regard for the truth, right? That's a huge problem. Like social media spreads things instantaneously. Shit can spread, but there's no way to rein in the truth or monitor the truth or, right? It's like, you know, it, and in fact, because of the way it moves things, the way it propels things into like algorithmic virality, the number one problem with social media is that the gnarly shit travels faster. Okay? If you go on social media and you say the N-word, you travel faster and further and with much more effectiveness than if you go on social media spreading a good message. Okay? So it has created an environment where being outrageous, being a liar, saying something atrocious is like beneficial on social media. And because social media exposure has become the cornerstone, everyone is incentivized to say and do the worst possible things in order to achieve that engagement, in order to either get the claim, the fame clout, or the moolah, or both, you know? And that's like super problematic is it's a place that incentivizes the worst behavior, okay? There's no incentive for decent behavior on it.
And where we're headed. Good question, better answer. Adam Mockler is part of the vanguard of podcasts on the left. He works with 𝗦𝘃𝗽. He has his own standalone, millions and millions of followers. He is one of the most listened to people on the left. Next to him is 𝗙rie𝗀𝗀𝗏. He is part of Turning Point USA. He was the executive producer for Charlie Kirk, a very close friend of Charlie Kirk's, and he is carrying forward their sense of purpose on the podcast.
Yeah, AKA they're tweeting from Charlie Kirk's, right? Tweeting from the Twitter account of a dead man and talking to an empty chair online while fucking stroking a cash register. That's 𝗙rie𝗀𝗀𝗏, the 41-year-old man grifting this dead guy. Jesus.
And with the organization. And I thank you both for being with us tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
Andrew, let me start with you. We have met relatively recently. I was with Charlie on Patrick Bet-David's podcast for hours. We talked, we texted. It was fruitful, disagreed a lot. How we disagreed mattered. What have you learned, positive and negative, in the aftermath of his assassination?
Yeah, and by the way, Chris, he said really nice things about you in private, and that's why when we had a chance to get together, you know, after all of this happened, I was more than happy to connect, and I'm glad we did. What I've learned is that there is a really, really vile undercurrent of political violence. And, you know, we talked about this briefly, but it's actually emanating from the political left. There was a...
See, right off the bat, though, he says it's emanating from the political left. But, like, what about this, dude? Look at that. Look at that. June 14th, right? Look at that. That's not from the left, right? But again, they're starting with the framing. Here we go. Oh, the violence emanating from the political left, right? Emanating from the political left. Dude, way more violence comes from the right. And again, Charlie Kirk wasn't shot by a leftist. That kid is not a leftist. I've seen no evidence that that person was a leftist, except his homophobic mom trying to say he was a leftist. But she, of course, didn't want to talk to him because she's, you know, he's gay. But like, dude, Shapiro's house was a right-wing guy, okay? An anti-Semitic right-wing guy that did say something about Palestine. But if you look at the guy's politics, he was not a leftist, okay? Just because he said something about Palestine doesn't make him a fucking leftist, okay? And Hortman and the other Minnesota lawmakers, dude, that guy wasn't a leftist. And we could go back for decades, the mass shootings, you know what I mean? And this is just really fucking problematic that everybody's allowing them to frame this as like, oh, the left is so politically violent. And that is such bullshit.
YouGov economist poll that came out, I believe it was between September 12th and the 15th. So the poll started 2 days after the assassination of Charlie. And what they found was about 30% of self-described liberals between the ages of 18 and 39 believed that political violence was justifiable to advance political ends. 30%. Meanwhile, conservatives of that same age group were among the most peaceful. So you see this.
See, here's the problem, though, with this poll, guys. Okay? And I'm going to tell you the problem with this poll is conservatives are totally for political violence. It's just that violence gets executed by the cops, bro. They love political violence. It is always executed by the state. I mean, what do you think sending the National Guard into Chicago is? That's political violence. What do you think pepper spraying innocent people is? That is political fucking violence. What do you think, like, cops shooting people, unarmed black men, and putting a leg on their neck while they scream, "I can't breathe," and murdering them? Okay, that is political violence. Okay, the right wingers are engaged with political violence all the time. They just, you know, many of them themselves don't carry it out. It's carried out by agents of the state, right? You know, and though, dude, they're fucking like, there's a long history of right-wing violence. Like, I mean, my God, dude, the insurrection, the fucking, all the mass shootings, like, come on, man.
Diversion that's happening. Conservatives are getting more peaceful. Young conservatives were more likely to answer no, political violence is not acceptable than their older counterparts. However, it was completely inverted, and there's one node on that graph that stands out like a sore thumb, and that's young progressives. So what I've learned is that there is a really sick thing happening somewhere in our culture, and we could debate where it starts from, but it is there, because when you saw what happened to Charlie, a father, a husband, a wonderful, wonderful person that I can attest in the privacy of I assume we're going to get to these leaked text messages. I will tell you, Charlie Kirk in private was more extraordinary than he was in public. He was more kind, he was more generous.
Dude, I don't fucking believe that for a minute.
He was more gracious, he was more loyal.
I don't believe that for a minute, bro. I mean, dude, if you're that kind and generous and nice, why are you such a fucking douche out in public? Right? You know, like, he was an abuser, a manipulator, a misogynist, racist, transphobic piece of trash, dude. Charlie Kirk was fucking trash. And I'm like seriously irritated that we are letting these clowns like sane wash and whitewash this motherfucker. Okay? Dude, he was so terrible, bro. I mean, dude, just a degenerate.
Truly, truly a man who lived his faith even in the quiet and in the private parts of his life. And yet there was people that were giddy. And that is disgusting. Now, I will tell you, I believe it was a small minority. I think it was a small minority. And it was so disgusting that we made a lot of noise about it.
Dude, but again, dude, I have problems with this. If people want to be giddy over someone dying, that is their right, bro. Okay? You know what I mean? When Donald Trump dies, I'm going to be positively fucking giddy. And I'm not going to feel any shame about it. I'm not going to have some fucking 41-year-old jackhole from TPUSA tell me I need to feel bad because I'm glad Trump is dead. Okay? Like, you are allowed to feel however you want. There's no requirement that we mourn racist, misogynist, transphobic pieces of shit. Okay? And these guys, these fucking hypocrites who cry about First Amendment, Charlie, First Amendment, and then the minute something bad gets said about Charlie, they're like, oh, boo, we want to take away your First Amendment. It's like, fuck you. Then you guys are all hypocrites. You don't get to fucking do it both ways. All right? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, my God, dude, every trans person in America was probably celebrating Charlie Kirk being dead, and why wouldn't they? He did everything he could to hurt them, to make their lives difficult, to turn young people against them, to try and make it so they, people thought that they didn't exist and would bully them and make fun of them. Like, of course, they should have been celebrating. Any trans person who wasn't doing a dance of joy when Charlie Kirk died is like, probably should go get some therapy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a right to be mad. Every young girl who got told she should quit college and go, birth some kids for some mediocre white man. Meanwhile, Charlie's wife has multiple graduate degrees, but Charlie's out there trying to convince women to become, mothers and indentured servants of mediocre white frat boys. Like, those girls probably felt like, man, I'm glad he's gone. And why not? Let them grieve that way. Okay? Like, this idea that we have to fucking show some sort of grace to Charlie is like, fuck you. Charlie never showed us grace. Okay? When the professors on his list were getting death threats and they asked to be taken off the list and people tried to shut down that list, he showed them no grace. Okay? When the children died in school shootings, he showed them no grace. Not even enough to say, like, I'll pray for them. It's really sad that kids are dying. He went out there and said, some gun deaths is okay to have the Second Amendment. I'm all right with that. I mean, this guy showed no grace. So when Charlie dies, fuck him. No grace. Okay? And that is not a sign that I'm a bad person. It's a sign that I'm a legitimate fucking human being. Charlie Kirk gets the same grace he gave us, okay? And so fuck him. You know what I mean? Dude, piss on the grave, bro. I'm serious. I am tired of this policing from them, okay? This demand that I have to grieve or be nice to this terrible fucking human being, right? No way. He showed no grace. Dude, he was despicable. He was a despicable prick right up until the bullet getting fired. The last couple of sentences he said were just more of his despicable nature. You know what I mean? Like, fuck these guys.
Okay, so it became a much bigger story. I believe that the American people are good, generous people. I think we're are decent people in this country. But the fact that there was even that many people that felt emboldened to say something or to jump on his grave or to be giddy.
I mean, that shows you how toxic Charlie was.
It's something that vile and gross is a disgrace, and it's a black eye on our country.
Now, Adam and I talked about this, and I found you very eloquent on this, on the line that had to be drawn. There was no yeah but for you when it came to Charlie Kirk's assassination. People should not get killed for what they believe in and expressing ideas in America. And you see it differently in terms of, yes, there is violence, increasingly so in our politics. Why do you think it is, and do you believe it is disproportionately coming from young progressives?
Well, Andrew pointed out an undercurrent of political violence, but there is a deeper undercurrent here of political radicalization of young people, primarily young men. So the same time that Charlie Kirk was tragically shot, another young white dude shot up Evergreen High School in Colorado, and this dude was a far-right neo-Nazi who had anti-Semitic messages online. I think that there's an undercurrent of radicalization that's stemming from a few things. As a 23-year-old, I lived through COVID during my most formative years, and I was able to rebound and have a social life, but a lot of young people didn't really get to rebound. Imagine having this bubble up around you during COVID, and you never really get to pull that bubble down, so you get sucked deeper and deeper down these algorithms online. Those algorithms are then, incentivized to push the most outrage, whether it's foreign bots like Russia and Iran trying to get people outraged, or domestic actors. I think Elon Musk's Twitter feed, for example, is disgusting and could radicalize a lot of young people. I disagree with the idea that violence disproportionately comes from young progressives. It is uniquely up this year, but if you look at any polls, according to CSIS, political violence overwhelmingly comes from the right. These mass shootings come from the right. And when it comes to the leaked text messages that came out 24 hours ago, I don't think it's fair to say there's an undercurrent just on the left. I know what you mean, but there's also an undercurrent on the right. There is something deep and dark boiling inside the GOP, and it's like the Nick Fuentes faction of the GOP. You can't deny that this is boiling when we got these leaked texts 24 hours ago. I do not like when people are characterizing these as kids in college. These were grown adults.
Yeah.
Some of them were 32 years old. One of them was a state senator from Vermont. Today, we saw an Ohio aide with a swastika in the back. I would never claim that this is representative of an entire party, but I do think there's an undercurrent of radicalization on both sides.
Well,
dude, he's absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he covered a number of things there. Like the thing that's really, here's the thing that bothers me about this, okay, is that what is going on now, right, is everybody was affected by COVID. Everybody sort of dug into the online world. Everybody dug into, their social media feeds. But like now what's sort of happening is like everything that is happening right now with young people politics is about who is your enemy. Okay? That's like a huge sort of thing, particularly I think coming from the right wing, right? Is the right wing radicalization is always about these are your enemies. Okay? These are your enemies. Okay? Immigrants are your enemies. Trans people are your enemies. Gay people are your enemies, right? The Democratic Party are demons. Everybody's like an enemy, right? And so like, I don't know, dude, it's hard. Like even when you listen to Andrew Colvett right there, where his whole thing was like, oh, Charlie died. There's a real violence problem on the left. And he's specifically targeting progressives, okay? The people that want health care, the people that want fucking education, the people that want, you know, wealth distribution, that like, ooh, they're violent. They're violent. And I don't really see that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really fucking see that, like progressives advocating for violence. You know, I mean, I see a lot of right-wing people talking about civil war, for the love of God. Like, how many times do the right-wing people tweet or, you know, talk, you know, make fucking videos about civil war? Every time they don't get their goddamn way, there's like a civil war coming, you know? There's just a constant state of like, you know, you have no idea what's coming, right? It is like a constant fucking barrage, you know? But this, see, the other thing about this, about what the 𝗏𝗃 guy said is he talked about a poll, all right? And he said that in the poll, the conservative people said there's never an excuse for violence, is what the conservative people said. But like, guys, I don't believe it. I know that the conservative people say that, right? Like if you took a poll of Maga and said, do you think political violence is okay? They would all say, no, never okay. But then the minute a missile like shoots a fishing boat in Venezuela, they're like, yeah, right? Or the minute an ice guy smashes somebody's fucking head open, they're cheering. Like they love violence in every way, shape, and form. They say they don't. You know what I'm saying? They say, oh, I'm the peace president. And then he's bombing Iran and threatening Canada and threatening Greenland and blowing up fishing boats. Okay? You know what I'm saying? They say, oh, I don't believe in violence. And then they're cheering when they want the guards to smash the head of every protester. And so I don't believe them. I don't believe them. I believe that they absolutely love violence. They just never, ever want any of it perpetrated on their people. Okay? The violence always needs to happen to the undesirables. Okay? That's what I believe.
Go ahead, Andrew, please put a point on it and then we'll go to the audience.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just, you know, and I want to find agreement. You know, Charlie, if you ever watch his debates really closely, he was a master at making that human connection with people. He would say, so we agree. Even if they were worlds apart, he would try and find a place where he would agree with the student or the professor often that would come debate him. So
see, that's some bullshit too. Okay? Because what he used to try to do is he used to try to like manipulate like they agreed with him. Okay? Somebody would have the very opposite opinion and he would try to play some little wordplay game. And then, oh, you agree with me. Oh, we agree. Right? But it was always like super manipulative and smarmy and him trying to like punk them. It was never a genuine attempt to find agreement. I mean, look at one of the last questions he answered, right? Where they said, do you know how many trans shooters there have been? And he didn't answer 5 or ask for the question or inquire. He just picked up the mic and said, too many, right? Oh, I see. So when there's 5 trans people that have been involved in mass shooting, it's too many, but 2,000 incel white guys is like just right. The perfect number of incel white shooters, you know? I mean, dude, yeah, he's a fucking, like, Charlie Kirk is a fucking pig, bro. I mean, I've been making videos about the guy for the last couple months. Him and his organization are both fucking pigs, bro. Like, to the core.
I agree with you that COVID had a profound effect on Gen Z. I did not live through that, and my heart goes out to Gen Z.
Yeah, dude, you're 41 years old, boss. You should probably be very far away from Gen Z. You fucking grooming weirdo.
Students that lost their proms and their graduations from that and lost their social lives. However, the study you just cited didn't include things like you know, the Tesla attacks that were against Elon Musk and Tesla.
All right, see, we got to pause right here because now this guy's going off into territory, okay? Like property damage, you don't get to fucking round that up and add that to like the political violence thing, okay? Because when there's state oppression, right, where some guy, one individual has bought his way into your government so he can dismantle your government, like property damage is a response that happens to oppression, right? And that's been age old, man. You know what I mean? It's like the Boston Tea Party. But what he says, the Tesla attacks, bro, like keying cars, like, come on, man. Like, do we not, like, what do we get for Elon graping us? Okay? Elon gets to take his money and buy his way into our government, shut down all our programs, bend us all over, fuck us all right in the ass, and then we're just supposed to take it? We don't get to fight back in any sort of way. But like that guy, because he's a fucking billionaire, he gets to just grape all of us and the entire country at will, break the law, lock people out of buildings, steal all our data? Like, come on, man. And we can't do anything? Like the Tesla vandalism was a totally realistic response to Elon's behavior. Okay? Elon thinking he's the ruler of the world and gets to just do whatever he wants with us. Like, I am tired of that. Like, the thing is you can't yell at me for keying a Tesla if you let the owner of the Tesla key me, right? You know what I'm saying? If the owner of Tesla gets to put a Molotov cocktail into my existence, I can throw a Molotov cocktail into his showroom. I mean, otherwise, you don't get it both ways. All right, you keep him out of my shit, I'll stay out of his shit. But if you're gonna let him in my shit, then I have a right to get in his shit. And I am tired of this idea that the wealthy people get to just fuck with us and shit on us and piss on us, and we don't get to ever fight back. You're supposed to be a good soldier and just take the piss. No, I disagree, man. That the Tesla attacks were not even political violence. They were a very realistic response to oppression that should have never happened in the first place. You know what I mean?
Study shows lethal deaths, lethal violence. Lethal violence comes disproportionately from the right. The Tesla attacks were not lethal. We can point to the Buffalo shooting, the El Paso supermarket.
I let you talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wow.
Dude, look at him, though. Look at him right there. You see the way, I let you talk, and then he turns and he's like, oh, wow, right? He's like putting him down, trying to establish like, ooh, you're aggressive. You're fucking, you talk too much. You've impugned my time. Like the arrogance from this guy, right? This guy wonders why fucking, the Molotov cocktail gets thrown. It's because of this type of arrogance here, where this guy's like, oh, wow. Oh, you're too much. Oh, right? When the fact of the matter is we wouldn't have to speak a mile a minute if you didn't lie so goddamn much. Okay, but when you tell 50 lies, we got to fucking go in there and dismantle all your lies. But here he comes with the whole arrogant, like, you're being too aggressive. Oh, the way you're speaking is now a problem.
Acts that were against Elon Musk and Tesla.
The study shows lethal deaths, lethal violence. Lethal violence comes disproportionately from the right. The Tesla attacks were not lethal. We can point to the Buffalo shooting, the El Paso supermarket.
I let you talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wow. All right. So there's a whole bunch.
I tried to debunk my study, so.
Is it your study? Did you do it?
I did not do it. But keep
What is your point, sir?
My point is that time and time again,
his point is he's an arrogant fucking prick, is his point. This guy, Colvet. Dude, yeah, pro-gaslighter, smug, arrogant fucking prick, bro. Right? That also is probably a real tough guy when he's got, some Trump-funded bodyguard or whatever walking around protecting him, dude.
There's a whole bunch.
You tried
there.
to debunk my study, so.
Is it your study? Did you do it?
I did not do it, but keep
What is your point, sir?
My point is that time and time again, whether it's the Aaron Burnett on CNN, God bless her, she tried to quote the same study. They didn't include a lot of what we would consider left-wing violence in that study. Okay.
Oh, so here he goes. So now he's like, oh, I take issue with the study because we want to determine what violence is. A king, a Tesla, is just as violent as shooting someone. You know, saying a bad word about Charlie is just as violent as the fucking Desmond Holly shooting up a whole school. Fuck you! Dude, Violet, thank you for that membership. Let's go. Dude, let's get a dance party goal going. All right? I'm feeling the need for some dance. We're going to try getting a dance party. I'm going to put it for 1 hour. All right? And we'll fucking... Dude, this guy is so arrogant, bro. There it is. Let's go. Let's go. I want to dance.
Okay, first of all. Second of all, my dear friend was just killed by left-wing violence, assassinated in cold blood. There has been how many ICE facilities that have been targeted? And when you look at what's happening right now, I agree with you on the radicalization, but you have to be honest about the fact that you even admitted, well, this year it's progressives. Well, what about George Floyd? What about that whole summer?
Dude, what about George Floyd? We watched a cop murder an unarmed guy. Right? And what happened? Right? Some federal buildings got destroyed. Good. That should happen. If the cops murder people, like, dude, what the fuck, bro?
Of looting and rioting. Listen, there has been a trend of, I think, let's just say, let's be gracious and say, in the era of Trump, maybe it's a reaction to Trump. I'm open to those discussions. But there is a justification for political violence. It shows up in every poll, and it's coming from progressives.
All right, dude, Pinky, let's go! Dude. And I mean, dude, yeah, this guy is really smarmy. Now, one thing I will say is this, okay? Dude, Charlie Kirk's killer was not left-wing. They need to stop saying that. I want that fucking challenge. This guy was not left-wing at all, okay? Not at all. There's no evidence of that except his homophobic mom's statement. But I do want to say, okay, I know Natalie. The right-wingers cheered George Floyd being killed. Then they lied about his death, okay? Now, the thing, though, that is crazy about this is why, like, Trump absolutely creates a culture of violent thought and behavior. He's an escalator, okay? Trump says, I'm sending the National Guard in. And the city says, I don't want you to send that. Please stop doing that, Trump. And Trump's like, now I'm going to do it double because you said stop. And so Trump no longer, like, observes consent, okay? Trump does what he wants, and it doesn't matter if he's breaking the law, fudging the Constitution, or fucking people's consent over. Trump just does whatever the fuck he wants, okay? Now, protesting masked marauders on the streets, that's not violence. That's, like, sensible, okay? If we had masked marauders running around picking up Christians, I would hope the fucking right-wingers would protest, right? Or would they just take it up the ass? Like, come on, man. If the government had masked people running around just sending Christians to concentration camps, would you guys not fight back? Like, would you just be like, oh, okay, oh, let's go to the concentration camp? You know, fucking idiots. Dude, Jesus. Dude, I know, Christine, I agree with that. Like George Floyd, we watched a guy get murdered. Dude, Justin, let's go. 5 gifted memberships. I mean, dude, we watched a guy get murdered by a cop, and the entire right wing, like, fucking cheered it on, guys. They cheered it on. You know what I'm saying? And yes, it was George Floyd. It was Michael Brown. It was Philando Castile. Okay? It was Breonna Taylor. It was Tamir Rice. I mean, my God, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, and every time one of those people got killed, it was like they fucking cheered that shit on. You know what I'm saying? They literally they cheer those things. And, and they say shit like, oh, he should have submitted. Oh, he should have listened to the cop. Oh, right?
I have spent all of my formative years watching the President of the United States talk about the opposition party like they shouldn't exist. His claim to fame in U.S. politics was saying that Obama wasn't born in America. That is how he entered the political stage. He was famous before that, but that was his claim to fame. He was the first presidential candidate to ever chant "lock her up" on a political stage. He tried to coup our government. Well, and I live in this, let me finish. Listen. I live in the city of Chicago. Donald Trump, over the past 2 months, has not only posted an AI video of Obama being arrested, but then after that, he posted an AI image of Chicago being invaded. After that, he sent the National Guard to Chicago. So I've spent my formative years watching the president do this. And just think about this. We saw these Nazi group chats, which I'm sure you condemn, right? This Nazi group chat.
Well, we can talk about it.
Do you condemn it?
I want to talk about it.
Wait, so when they said gas chambers,
disavow.
When they say gas chambers, you won't. So you're like JD Vance. You just won't condemn this?
Well, I actually had JD on the show today. We had a whole conversation.
You guys can all condemn this, right?
Hell yes.
Thank you.
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on.
But
Chris, can you condemn that?
Here's the point, of course. But that's easy. What I'm
for him, but you know what? This is not constructive, right?
Because what the constructive part is not. This is what's happening here, and I know both of you guys, and I want to bring Joe in on this, and I want to get to.
Dude, this is the same shit. Okay, what Chris Cuomo's doing here, this is like the same shit he did with fucking Benny Johnson and Brian Tyler Cohen. You see this? You see what he does? Where, like, the minute the fucking right-winger gets overwhelmed and wants to dodge, Chris comes in like fucking Mamma Mia and is like, oh, let me come in here and, oh, this is not productive. You boys need to stop arguing. You know what I mean? So when you're saying, for me, I don't think suspicious, the violence during BLM, I don't know what you mean. Like my thing, guys, with the BLM is this. Is when a cop murders an innocent person, there's going to be some protests. And there may, like, you don't want violence, but there might be some violence when a cop murders an innocent person. Now, I'm not advocating for there to be violence, but when a cop murders a person and there is a little bit of violence, I'm not, like, surprised by that. I kind of understand why it exists, but I also lived here in Portland where we had these crazy huge protests and they said that it was burning and all this, but like, dude, it wasn't really that violent. Like, we did force some feds to hide in a federal building. And I was okay with that. They were like, they shouldn't have been here. We didn't need them here. Nobody wanted them here. They were not asked to come here. We were having our own protests about the murders. We were doing our own thing and it was fine. Okay, but then the feds come in, they start firing rubber bullets, they start shooting tear gas, they want to call it a riot, and then it escalates. But dude, if you look at the scale of the BLM protests, dude, across the country, the millions of people that participated in that horrific act, and the amount of violence was negligible, dude. It was like a couple of fires, some of it was even started by like miscreants that weren't even protesters, okay? Remember the guy in Minneapolis smashing windows, right? A lot of times there's agitators, the same as the Proud Boys, right? You have a school voting on a pride flag and the Proud Boys show up and start hitting people. But that have nothing to do with the protest, has nothing to do with the pride flag. I thought George Floyd was pretty fucking chill, actually, okay? You know what I'm saying? I thought George Floyd was pretty chill. I took my kid, okay? My kid was 14 years old, right? I took my kid to those protests, okay? I went at night with my girlfriend and my 15-year-old kid, and we locked arms with the wall of moms, okay? So, like, I wouldn't have done that if there was a crazy, violent, like, agitating shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we participated in that shit. It was totally fine. I mean, they were camping. They had a couple blocks marked off. We have a culture here where We allow protesters to have their protest. We don't shut them down like some cities do, right? We let them camp. We let them work out their shit. We let them use their voice as long as they're not fucking hurting people. And nobody was really hurting anyone, guys. And the thing about it is, though, is like one building burns and these right-wingers like freak out. But like, goddamn, bro, you know how many lives have been shattered? You know how much political violence has been caused by ICE? Like, come on, man. More political violence has happened at the hands of DHS individuals this year than since the civil rights era, man. Like, George Floyd is nothing compared to what ICE has been doing for the last 6 months. Like, give me a fucking break, dude. All this talk is nonsense. You know, when a cop murders an innocent person, a building should probably get burned down. Okay? I'm not saying you should, but like if a cop murders an innocent person and a police station gets burned down, I understand why that police station got burned down, guys. I do. I don't see it as like, if you don't want the police station to burn down, don't kill innocent people, right? But it's our fucking police station. You know, that's my whole point, okay? Is like, if a cop murders one of us and we have a protest and that police station gets burned down, that's our building. We paid for it, okay? So, like, if we want to burn down a building we paid for, I don't see anything wrong with that. But, like, don't murder innocent people, okay? If a cop spit on somebody, I wouldn't say, let's burn down the police station. No, of course not. That would be unreasonable. But when cops are murdering innocent people with impunity, I kind of think that, like, at that point, you do have to consider that the police station building is fair game, you know, because that is a show of, like, we're not going to put up with you murdering us. We're going to take some of our property back, okay? And we're going to send it back to the earth until you stop murdering us, okay? You know, I mean, and I mean, guys, I guess the thing about it is this, and again, guys, I don't consider property damage to be violence, okay? That is property damage, okay? There is a difference, guys, okay? There's property damage, and then there's violence. To me, violence is harming a person, okay? If you write a violent crime is like assault, murder, attacks, okay? You're hurting people. You're causing physical injury. You're killing them, okay? Setting a fucking, you know, spray painting a building or smashing some windows is just vandalism, okay? It is just vandalism. You know what I mean? And again, like, I don't say that you start there. I don't think you should start there, and I don't condone it. I would never fucking set a thing on fire. I would never smash windows. But what I will say is when cops murder people, I understand that stuff might happen, okay? That is a totally natural reaction if you look at the history of fucking people, that if you oppress them and they have no other outlet, often instead of hurting people, they do a little property damage. That is pretty common. Okay, you see it with kids, okay? We've all had some kids, right? If you oppress your kid and you really oppress him, he's not going to take a swing at you. He's not going to hurt you, but he may smash some of his toys. He may go and break a lamp that you like. He may take it out on you in a way where he breaks something to fucking let you know that he's oppressed and he's feeling overwhelmed and he wants to hurt you, but he can't. And I mean, at that point, we should look at that and be like, yeah, we need to rethink our oppression. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I look at those types of rebellions with fucking, you know, property damage, it's time for us to sit and say, hey, maybe we should rethink our oppressive systems, because obviously there's some oppression going on when that type of shit happens. Okay? It doesn't happen otherwise. If people aren't oppressed, they don't act out that way. Okay? That's just facts, you know? But the thing that's really hard about this, guys, is we in America, we live in a deceitful fucking circuitous nature, okay? Because here's the deceit of America, guys, is we have a group of oppressors that oppress. Financially, they hoard the wealth, the prices go up, they pay no regard to us politically, the wealthy people live in a different set of rules, and so most of the people are oppressed. Then eventually the people who are oppressed break something, burn something, react in some way that the oppressors then go, aha, I told you those people are unruly. And then they use the acting out as an excuse for more oppression. Now we're going to hoard more money. Now we're going to take away social benefits. Now we're going to cut your education. We're going to cut investment to your communities. And so there's this circle of the wealthy, empowered people oppressing everybody else. And then every time they act out, they say, see, we told you those guys were bad. Now we really should start oppressing them. But it's a lie, man. It's a lie. It's like, if you stop hoarding the wealth, the poor will stop acting out. Okay? That's just the facts. If you stop having two different if you stop having two different sets of rules, the people that are always getting fucked over will stop rebelling against your fucking stupid rules, you know? I mean, it ain't fucking hard to figure out. You know, if I have a family and I have 10 kids and one kid keeps acting out, I know that, like, it's something to do with me, okay? It's not just the kid, okay? If 9 kids are fine and one kid is acting out, I got to figure out, why is that one kid acting out? Like, what's going on with them? Why are they hurting? You know? I mean, ice ads? I'm sorry, boss. Dude, it just pisses me off, though, bro. All right, here we go.
To the audience, but let's just be clear about where the path is forward. The comparison of which is worse is killing us, okay? It's killing everybody. And you are not wrong about your points in point counterpoint. But as we started with the premise about Charlie, it's either wrong or it isn't. If violence is wrong in politics, then you do everything you can to get on the other side of it. Are you right about Trump and his histrionics? Of course you are. Is Andrew right about what he and Charlie Kirk have dealt with all over the country? Yeah, they're right. So the conversation is not which one of you is worse. I have no interest in that. It's how do we get to better. Joe, what's your take?
Let me say a couple of things. Those of us from a different generation, there was always civility in it. You might disagree and you might want to say things, but you didn't do it. There was just civility. You were expected to hold yourself at a higher level.
Dude, what is he talking about, bro? This guy, civility? Dude, they impeached Bill Clinton for having an affair. And now they have Epstein's best friend is like the president, right? Civility? Like, dude, they shot Ronald Reagan. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ronald Reagan got shot at. Bill Clinton got fucking, like, they dredged up the affair. I mean, dude, yeah, MLK. I don't think MLK thought there was a lot of civility when he took that bullet, or fucking JFK or RFK. Like, bro, there were 3 major political assassinations in like 10 years, dude, during his day, right? 3. And the cops were, you know, the National Guard were shooting Kent State students. And but in our day, back when we'd just lynch you if you said the wrong thing, like, there was a lot of civility when there was threatening of a good lynching if you spoke up. Dude, what the fuck is this guy talking about, bro? See, I really think, guys, I think this is our problem right here. Our problem is the massive lack of self-awareness. That's our problem. Our problem is we all live in a reality created of our own fucking choosing, and then it's reinforced by whatever social media algorithm gets piped into us, where if you're irritated with like one group of people, the social media feeds you with, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right. And then pretty soon you're living in this fantasy world where those people are the cause of all your problems, right? This guy's saying, back in my day, there was civility. It's like, goddamn, Joe Manchin, when you were Adam Mockler's age, bro, They were lynching people, you fucking dunce. Okay? Like, there was no goddamn civility when Joe Manchin was 23 years old. Let's find out when this guy was born, dude. He was born in 1947. Okay? So when he was Adam Mockler's age, right? Right? I mean, I guess when he was fucking, I guess lynchings were a little bit past that. But when he was Adam Mockler's age, dude, they were like just past Kent State. Okay? You know what I'm saying? While he was growing up, 3 major political figures were assassinated. Okay? When he was 13, Kennedy got shot. When he was 17, RFK got shot. And when he was fucking 21, fucking MLK got shot. All the K's got shot. Dude, 4, who's the 4th? Dude, who's the 4th one? There was fucking, Malcolm X? Dude, when did Malcolm X die? Oh, yes. Oh, I forgot that. So he was between RFK and fucking, right? Because RFK was in 64, wasn't it? Oh, no, 68. All right. I thought he was 64. So Malcolm X was second. So he saw Kennedy die, JFK, then Malcolm X, and then RFK, and then fucking MLK, right? So he was the same year, bro. No way, dude. He was the same fucking dude. Look at that. Dude, in 2 months, 2 guys in 2 months, guys. How fucking crazy is that? Within 2 months in 1968, when Manchin was 18, 2 major political figures got fucking assassinated within 2 fucking months. Can you imagine? Dude, that is insane, bro. And JFK was what year was his? 63. Okay. Dude, I had JFK's year wrong. I thought I had his year wrong, but so you had 1 in 63. Dude, that's 4 assassinations in 5 years, guys. 63 JFK, 2 years later, Malcolm X, and then fucking 3 years after that, there's 2 in 2 months. That's insane, guys, right? But Joe Manchin's like, yeah, when I was younger, we just murdered all the political figures. Like, this is what's so problematic. What is this guy talking about? What world is this guy living in? Okay, we were in war in Vietnam. Everybody's, like, kids were coming home in body bags. Okay, fucking, we found out later that Nixon, at the end of that, was a fucking crook. Okay, and 4 political figures were killed in 5 fucking years. 4 of the biggest in his day, bro. You know what I mean? And this guy, just no clue.
We've lost that as a society, and they're normalizing horrible behavior. What you're seeing is not.
Dude, I got to comment on this. Dude, you know, like, come on, man. What the hell, bro? They're so clueless, dude. Dude, that shit gets me, guys. It does. That shit gets me because we all have some sort of a weird selective memory. All right, guys, 35 minutes. 13 away, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get the dance party going. Dude, this kills me, bro.
Not normal. You don't teach your kids what we're saying on television today and what people are calling each other because one's a Democrat or one's a Republican. But let me tell you this. I grew up you're entitled to your own opinion. You're just not entitled to create your own facts to support your crazy opinion. But today on social media, you can find someone that'll agree with you. See, I told you I was right. Let me tell you the problem we have. Social media has a blank check of immunity. The social platforms, you can put anything you want on there, and they'll go ahead and let it go. And no one's held accountable. Section 230, you changed Section 230. And so 230 was a law that was put in 1996 to give the internet a chance to grow so it wouldn't be brought to court all the time. That day has gone. They have to be held responsible for what they allow anybody to put on their platform and held accountable.
Especially because they amplify things that drive outrage as opposed to understanding. But let me get it.
Well, see, here's the problem, though, is you can't take away... Dude, Patrick, let's dance, baby! Dude, how are you going to take away Section 230 and have free speech? I mean, these guys are talking about different shit, right? Joe Manchin's like, oh, you gotta take away their right to spread things. Dude, yeah, he does hate regulation. The guy who owns a bunch of coal fucking businesses. Of course, that guy's worried about regulation. But, you know, I mean, I don't really see how you make that fly with the fucking First Amendment, right? You know, dude, John Smith, let's go, baby. Oh, we love to see it. Dude, I mean, I don't know what he's talking about. He's on a bender. Bama girl, let's go. Oh, yes, I love the lemon ones. Those are great. Dude, this shit is crazy.
In the audience, I have a feeling like you know more than any of us. So tell us who you are and what is your question?
Yes, I'm Luke. I'm originally from Amarillo, Texas. Go Cowboys, Stephen A.
He's going to leave again. Don't make him leave again.
That was hard.
Sorry, I had to.
That was hard.
Dude, let's go, Gen X! Oh! Dude, Manchin is so fucked up because we could have had Build Back Better if it wasn't for Manchin and 𝗙ście 𝗠𝗆𝗍. They literally cucked Joe Biden's fucking, like, huge, like, you know, technology forward legislation, man. You know what I'm saying? They cucked the legislation to line their own pockets.
But on the topic of Republicans, I'm the president of the American University College Republicans. In the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination, our club has faced a barrage of insults, attacks, and hostility. I'm just wondering, how can we as students engage with those who disagree and remain respectful while also remaining firm in our convictions? And that's for the whole panel.
Well, so I'd like to answer this for this guy. Like, first off, you got to weed out the bad apples, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Republicans, the real problem with Republicans is they don't ever weed out any one of their own, okay? Like with Democrats, we cancel our own, okay? If you commit a sex crime, if you are a total crook, if you are a fucking scumbag, we cut you out. Okay, but they don't, right? They see these guys that are fucking saying N-words and F-slurs, and they know a whole bunch of people in their caucus do that shit. But like, dude, they're disingenuous. They don't get rid of people, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, this is fucking like, the Republicans are like, here's what gets me. Is, you know what he just said right there? How he said, he's like, ever since Charlie Kirk died, we're getting attacked. We're getting attacked. He's like, man, it's so bad that we're getting attacked. But it's like, yo, homie, yo, fucking state of Texas Republican guy, don't you realize that while Charlie Kirk was here, a whole bunch of other people were getting attacked? Women were getting attacked. Black people were getting attacked. Black women at the highest level of government were getting attacked. Trans people were getting attacked every day. And now you are getting attacked and you're like, wow, this really sucks. We got to do something because we're getting attacked. And it's like, bro, you got to realize how everybody you target feels every day. Like maybe you getting attacked should make you stop attacking people, right? Yeah, it's like good saying right there. Stone thrower got a broken window, right? You run around throwing bricks through everybody's window. You don't get to cry when a couple of bricks come through yours. You have to chalk that up as like, you know, part of your deal.
Would you tell us a little bit more about these attacks?
We've had, when we tabled a few weeks ago for our club involvement fair, someone came up to us, spat at our table, said, "You're not welcome here, fascists."
Do you know who that person was?
It was just an American University student. And then after
did you complain about the person?
We did, yes, and nothing
What
happened. Nothing happened yet, but we're so used to we held a Charlie Kirk vigil. Students came up to us after, said he deserved it, and this was celebrated. We have
again though, dude. There is free speech, right? Like he deserved it. If they feel like he deserved it, all right. Why is that a problem? You know what I mean? Like let me just give you an example, okay? You know, let me take a political figure I like, okay? I love AOC, okay? I do. I love AOC, okay? Absolutely adore her. I want to make sure I'm not missing any of these. I got Gen X's. Dude, let's go. Dude, Sir Tony, George Bush, Cheney lasted too long for pubs. Oh, let's go. All right, number 8 is the Watch Bar. Dude, Adam's vid 2 hours ago. You'll see Cuomo try to blindside Adam. Oh, dude, yeah, no woof. Check that out, dude. Let's go, Jake. Oh! But anyway, so for example, okay, you ready? So say something happened to AOC, okay? Say God forbid something happened. AOC runs for president. Somebody guns down AOC. Dude, would I be bummed? Yes. Would I probably shed a tear and feel a little heartbroken? Yes. I absolutely adore her. I think she's done great work. Now, if a right winger came up and was like, AOC, oh, like she deserved it, right? I'm going to think, wow, that guy's an asshole. Okay. I'm definitely going to think that guy's an asshole, but I'm not going to think that like, I need to now like throw that guy into fucking prison because of him being an asshole. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he has a right to be an asshole. Like, oh, some people came up and said he deserved it. All right. I mean, there's a lot of people who think Charlie Kirk deserved it. Okay. There's a lot of people who think that way. There's a lot of trans people who are just glad that he's no longer there to radicalize young people against them. Okay. There's a lot of women who are like, God damn, like they're probably thinking maybe there is a God right now. Right? There might be some non-believers who are starting to think maybe there is a God. But the point is though, is that shouldn't have anything to do. Yeah, like what Blanket said there, they worship their political party. Like they take that personal. Like, oh, you've insulted Charlie Kirk. You've insulted the Maga. Now there must be retribution. But like, dude, that's just weird. Okay, that's weird. People are allowed to have negative opinions of the man. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for being you from Fort to here. Let's go, John. Thank you, boss. Appreciate that. Let's go. W person, I will take it. You know, and that's fucking weird, man. I just disagree with that wholeheartedly. Okay, like people are allowed to be assholes. Okay, they're allowed to be assholes.
Have an anonymous chat board
How
for our
many
school.
students came up and say he deserved it?
Say that again?
How many students at American University came up to you and said he deserved it?
Well, we had 2 women that came up to us after, but we had hundreds of people posted on our anonymous chat board.
Okay, so 2 women said he deserved it, right? Now here's the thing, like, and this is the thing that bothers me, is what I would like to see from Republicans is I would like an honest assessment to be like, hey, Charlie Kirk fans, can you try to understand why some women thought he deserved it? Are you aware of how negative he was toward women? Because a lot of people are saying, God damn, he was negative towards women. And a whole bunch of you are saying, no, he wasn't. But like, we're telling you he was. And so obviously he was. There wouldn't be millions of people or hundreds of thousands of people being like, God damn, we're glad that guy's gone, if that guy was a good guy. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like Ace Frehley died today. You're not going to have 100,000 people going, God damn, Ace Frehley was such a horrible person. No, because he wasn't a horrible person. When Donald Trump dies, you're going to have millions of people going, God damn, we're glad he's gone. Okay, why? Because he's not a good person. So you do have to like assess that at some point. But dude, what is up? Why do all of the young Republicans look like this? Dude, this guy looks just like the other ones, bro. Like, I shit you not, dude. Hold on, let me find the picture. Let me find the image. Right? I may have to dig into my thing. Why do they all look like this, guys? It's like every single one of them. Dude, there's the young Republicans, and here's this guy, dude. They're all like, I mean, I don't want to be judgmental, but why is it that every guy who can't possibly ever get laid becomes a young Republican? I thought they were the alphas, bro, but they all look like guys that are a little heavy set and just terrible, like meeting girls, and they all become, you know, filled with resentment and shit. And, you know, dude, bro, you know what I'm saying? Dude, basement dwellers, dude, what is up with this guy's shoes, bro? I mean, he's wearing brown fucking, like, dude, I just don't understand, man. I mean, these guys just need a gym membership and a fucking stylist, right? And maybe, and maybe some fucking, little bit of trigger words. Yeah, no, woke fascist, DEI. Dude, I don't know, dude. I mean, I could be onto something. Celibate by choice. Yeah, there's no choice involved, for sure.
For school.
All at American University?
Yes.
Hundreds of people were happy that Charlie Kirk was assassinated?
Yes.
Okay. What does the management, the dean, all of those people, what kind of a statement do they put out in the face of what you are saying?
See, here's the thing, though. Why are we doing this? They're allowed to feel that way. Like, why are we going over this shit? Why are they trying to control, like, oh, what kind of a statement? You don't have to grieve somebody you think is a terrible fucking person, okay? I thought Charlie Kirk was a terrible fucking person. I didn't feel remotely sad when he was killed. And in fact, I thought it was a net positive for humanity, okay? Do I think political violence sucks? Of course. It shattered his wife's life. It shattered his life. It shattered their movement. Now they're all scrambling and doing this weird deification of him. That whole movement will probably be dead in 5 years, okay? It's going to fall apart without him. But in his kids are certainly growing up without a father. It's tragic, okay? The people who witnessed it, thousands of people witnessed it, young people that are going to be, like, there's thousands of kids and hundreds of thousands, millions that watched it online that we now all have a little bit of PTSD, okay? But still, we've all been traumatized by it, and it was terrible. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, poor Charlie. He was a fucking despicable person. And he lived ruthlessly with violent imagery. Sir Tony, like, for example, thank you, boss, says, I'm grieving us being put through the vid together. Yeah, no, I feel that. But like, dude, this is my thing on Charlie Kirk. Look at this, guys. Two days before Charlie Kirk died, he said, Islam is the sword the left is using to slit the throat of America. This is who Charlie Kirk was. Crazy, violent hyperbole, trying to create Islamophobia and trying to say that the left is trying to slit the throat of America. Like the left are terrorists. Look at all the violence in this language. You know what I'm saying? Like when you read this, dude, anti-fascist snow puppies. When I read this, I'm not surprised that the guy who wrote this died a violent death. Okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he deserved it, but the fact that a guy who talks like this, who walks around saying the left is trying to slit the throat of America, like, I'm not surprised that guy died violently. Like, come on. He lived violently. He's living violently. This is so violent here. The left are terrorists. Islamic people are terrorists. The left are trying to murder America, trying to cut their throat like a dirty terrorist, right? This is so violent and so demeaning and so dehumanizing. Okay, this guy was disgusting. Okay, this is the shit he did. And he did this, why? To win political power, to make money, to radicalize young people to vote for his candidate, to maybe he could be president one day. Like, come on, bro. And then he died violently. It seems like, yeah, to me, that makes sense. Okay, live by the sword, die by the sword, right? Live by the slitting of the throat, die by the slitting of the throat. You know? And I mean, I can show you the videos of him talking about gun deaths and being okay with school kids dying to guns because it protected his Second Amendment. So like, all right, when he dies by gun, all right, thank you, Charlie Kirk, for protecting the Second Amendment. Fuck nuts. Appreciate you dying by gunfire so we can have the Second Amendment. All right, thanks, Chuck. Let's go. But bro, you don't get to police how I feel about Charlie Kirk. I don't have to say he was a good man just because you guys are bummed, okay? Just because you loved him and you're heartbroken that he's gone, I don't have to love him. I don't have to be heartbroken that he's gone. I can be glad that he is gone, and that's okay. I am allowed to be glad that that toxic motherfucker is gone. I am allowed that. And you trying to say I'm not allowed that, or I need to be put in jail, or I need to be fired because that makes you uncomfortable. It's like, fuck you. You thinking he was good makes me as uncomfortable as me saying I don't care that he's dead makes you feel, right? Him being alive made me feel threatened, made people I know and love feel threatened, made people I know and loved feel unsafe, you know? While he was alive, his existence made a lot of people feel unsafe. And so, like, fuck you. Welcome to the club. The way you feel now is how the rest of us felt when that motherfucker was alive. Sue me, okay? You can't fire me. Fuck you, Maga. I'm unfireable, all right? So, there you go, right? But, I mean, dude, this whole, like, and now Bill O'Reilly. Dude, first off, why is Bill O'Reilly even on there, dude? Hello, sex predator much? Dude, why the fuck is Bill O'Reilly even on this goddamn panel, dude? You know what I mean? Like, dude, this guy's a sex predator. Why the fuck do we have sex predators on this panel? Maybe we should reassess why we have sex predators on our goddamn fucking panels. Maybe there'd be less political violence if we didn't have sex predators on the panel, dude. You know? Like, come on, man. Dude.
They haven't addressed that. They let us hold our vigil, but that was pretty much it. They hadn't addressed.
So that's the problem now. That's the problem that Senator Manchin just said. There are no standards, and people are doing this. See, if somebody comes to me and...
Dude, Bill O'Reilly is about to lecture us about standards. Bro, dude, you are a sex predator, boss. Like, really? Am I about to get... You know what I'm saying? Like, am I about to get a lecture from a sex predator about standards? Like, dude, what are we talking about? This is the problem. The problem is we have clueless motherfuckers that are sex predators or like Epstein besties that think they should lecture the rest of us on morality, dude. Like, bro, come on, man.
Spits at me.
All right, I'm done with this guy. Let's get back to Mockler.
Mike Tyson said that the internet has made people...
Dude, he said Mike Tyson said, bro. Come on, bro. All right.
University should have done something about your situation. He's become a gazillion. That is smart. And I had a conversation on Kirk and the responsibility that I see him. He gets very good. So you didn't hear about it. I talked to Benny Johnson. He gets upset because of what we're discussing about Charlie Kirk and the responsibility that I see on both sides for the dialogue. It goes crazy. Why? Because it was pitched as me trying to destroy Benny and him trying to destroy me.
Dude, it's because Benny's a fucking piece of shit, bro. Dude, fuck Benny Johnson, bro. You know what I'm saying? Dude, Benny Johnson, I don't know if I'm ever going to get in the room with those guys because I don't think those guys are going to ever, like, sit down with me because they're fucking chicken shits. You know what I mean? But, dude, Benny Johnson, I mean, this is hard, though, because Cuomo's brother is a fucking sex predator, boss. All right? Is there any more Mockler, or did we get it all? Because, I mean, if we got all the Mockler, I'm ready to move on with this shit, dude. Dude, every Benny video has a rage thumbnail. It does, dude. Dude, Benny sells rage and hate to fucking 10-year-old boys, dude. He's a fucking huge groomer. Dude, somebody said they hope Benny and Tim Pool are next. Dude, nobody's gonna fucking, dude, Tim Pool's not even a threat. Dude, Benny though, like, I don't know, dude. I feel like Benny's sleeping with one eye open, bro. All right? Because Benny, like, the thing about Benny is this, okay, is Benny Johnson is a grifter. He's a plagiarizer. He's a scumbag. But I don't think he's stupid, okay? I don't think Benny is stupid. I think he fucking knows, like, how phony he is. I think he knows the game he's playing. And I think he knows that, like, wow, it's dangerous being who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, dude.
That is something that has to be controlled. The question is, how? Because you can't go back to the old ways, right? Of you're going to punch me because you don't like what I said, because we shouldn't punish the ideas that way, but we got to do something better than what we're doing now. Stephen A.
Well, Bill was right when he talked about there has to be consequences from your actions, and it has to emanate from the top. You got Senator Joe Manchin on here, who I have profound respect for. Why?
Dude, I have no respect for Joe Manchin. But, like, this is hard because we have a president, right? We have a president that doesn't have any fucking consequences. Okay? You know, Trump has no consequences ever.
Because he's an independent thinker. Not just in terms of who he is as a person, but who he was on Capitol Hill. He answered to the people of West Virginia. He didn't answer to the president. He didn't answer to contemporaries in the House or the Senate. He answered to the people of West Virginia. He let it be known, that is who I represent. That is who I'm here to represent, and that's what we're going to do. When we look on Capitol Hill right now, I was watching a few weeks ago, and I'm not here to judge 𝗙ście𝗶𝗹𝗀, for example, in terms of the job he's doing or not doing or whatever. I'm simply talking about, did you see the way that he was talking to Senator Schiff, Bloomingdale and all. Come on, man. You know, you're the director for the FBI. So what I'm saying to you is this: you got a whole bunch of people that work under Trump. Are we really gonna sit here in this audience today and have a discussion about decorum, how you talk to people, how you make sure that you conduct yourself? I'm not talking policy right now. I'm talking about that. And we're really not gonna know where this emanates from? Let's stop that nonsense.
I think
got a whole.
Yeah, it's fucking Trump, dude. We watched the videos last night of him, remember, insulting the women reporters and shit. I mean, at least he makes one fucking good point there.
Bunch of people that want to emulate the president of the United States, who does not.
we're going to talk about it. I'm going to take a break. We're going to keep the conversation.
Oh, dude, look at that. Cuomo's like, we're going to take a break, right? Yeah, nice time to take a break, bro. As soon as something critical becomes a fucking Trump, Cuomo's like, oh, we're going to cut to commercial. Dude, I got to go get my fucking Trumpie punch card. Dude, what the fuck was that, bro? You know what I mean?
Going. Look, the only thing I'd say is, should it come from the top down? Of course. But sometimes it needs to come from the bottom up. And that's a collective responsibility. And that's why I love all of
See, dude, that's bullshit. Dude, when he says sometimes it needs to come from the bottom up, no. No, no. Why would we do it from the bottom up so Donald Trump can just shit on us all? No, I refuse. If the top ain't doing it, then fuck them. I'm going to get vicious. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is some bullshit, bro. It starts at the top always. Okay? Always. Like, what are we going to do? We're all going to get real cordial and respectful while Trump grapes all of us? While Trump fucks us all? Like, bro, screw that, dude. No way, bro. Dude, I'm going to go to the bathroom. All right? There, enjoy this song. Dude, Funtucky, let's go, baby. Hi. Hi to you too, boss. All right, let's go. Let's look at the thing. We got 8 minutes. We need 4 more. 8 minutes. I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom. Hang tight. Yeah, no, I had to go to the bathroom. Dude, let's go, DB. 3 more guys for that dance party. I'm tripping. Let's go, baby. Yeah, 6 minutes, 3 more. We're gonna get that dance party. We're gonna secure the dance party. Let's go. All right, dude. Yeah, man, dude. Ball bad. Let's go, boss. Good to see you always. Let's go. 2 more, dude. That fucking. I mean. Man, this is hard, right? It's hard because, like, obviously, we know that the destruction of decorum, okay? Decorum is gone because of Donald Trump, okay? Decorum is gone because of Donald Trump. 100%. He is the guy responsible for removing all decorum. And we've let him do it. We have let him fucking do it, right? He will say the nastiest shit, and then the press doesn't hold him accountable for it, okay? You know what I'm saying? He lies and lies and lies and lies and lies. Nobody holds him accountable, all right? It's like everything is right? He manufactures controversy, bullshit. He's cheating and manipulating financially his office. Never any consequences. Dude, let's go. Dance party, let's fucking go. Thank you, Amelia. All right. Dude, 5 minutes, guys. Oh, we only need one more. We should be able to nail this. All right, one more. And then we can fucking progress. Dude, this shit is crazy. It's just, it all starts with him. The destruction of decorum and the rottenness and the insensitivity and, crazy like memeing, like using Twitter memes, whether they're racist or sexist or violent, doesn't matter. He does all that shit. Rhetorical, let's go. $2 lemon, let's go. We need one more because it is, the stickers are great and we appreciate that. Rhetorical mode. I love the lemon stickers. Thank you so much. But they don't count toward the goal. Those are just, what do you call them? Super chats are the only thing that counts toward the goal. But so uno mas, 4 minutes. We're rolling in. We're going to secure that dance party. But so, yeah, man, this shit is pretty crazy. But can I just show you while we're waiting on this? So I had a tweet get marked as for hateful conduct. Okay. And this was a tweet that I posted under 𝗏𝗏. Okay. 𝗏𝗏 posted about his thing with Andrew Colvett. About Andrew, dude, watch bar, Jake. Let's go, baby. There it is. All right. So check this out. Now, guys, I get threats on Twitter of people saying they're going to kill me. They're going to smash my head open. I get sent F slurs and N words. I get called all sorts of things in DMs. Okay. And even when I report them, nothing ever happens to the people. I've gotten called the hard R, every type of like F slur or gay slur you can imagine. And I've had people literally say, I'm going to come to your house and smash your fucking face with cinder blocks. And they will not ever like sanction the account ever. Okay. I've never once been attacked or had them delete the account. They always come back and say, we didn't find them breaking any rules. Okay. But now look at this. Okay. This was the one where Colvett says, easy, buddy, to 𝗏𝗏. And he's like, easy, buddy. Like you're being so aggressive or whatever. And so I replied, easy, buddy. What a patronizing bitch. Charlie Kirk did that to women too every time they debated him. The thing about Charlie Kirk is that he hurt a lot of people. And none of those hurt people need to mourn his death. If Kirk had been less hurtful, maybe he's still alive. Centering all our political discussion around Kirk is ridiculous. Charlie was a terrible fucking person. Using him as the center of the argument is an insult to every kid who's died in a school shooting. We need to stop letting them use Charlie Kirk as some icon of political fairness because he was not that. He was a toxic extremist and deserves to be remembered as such. Now, I don't think I even said anything that bad there. Okay. I think the part that they took issue was if Kirk had been less hurtful, maybe he's still alive. But like, dude, this was not even name calling. It was respectful. It was totally like open, but this got marked as hateful conduct by Elon's Twitter. This did, right? If somebody said these exact same words about me or about Gavin Newsom or about Kamala Harris, dude, this wouldn't have gotten marked as hateful conduct. But Elon is protecting Charlie Kirk with his platform, okay? If I said some shit like about Charlie Kirk that Charlie Kirk said about trans people, I would get booted, right? You know what I mean? I would get a hateful conduct if I treated Charlie Kirk the way he treated trans people. Now, here's what's wild about this, though, okay, is if we go here and we look for Elon, let's go look at Elon Musk, okay? And let's search under Elon Musk. We're going to search absolutist, okay? We're going to search absolutist. Oh, look at that. Starlink has been told to block Russian news sources, will not do so unless at gunpoint. Sorry to be a free speech absolutist. Oh, Elon, it's good to know you're a free speech absolutist. I knew I'd find at least one tweet from you about being a free speech absolutist, right? Right? But I guess maybe not absolutist. Maybe absolutist is not the right word there. All right, let's see what Elon says about free speech, though. Let's see what he's got. Does he ever say anything about free speech? Right? Right? He says free speech doesn't mean paid speech. I don't know what that means, right? But 𝗙𝗍𝗪 fights for free speech in Europe, right? X believes in free speech. You sure about that? I don't think he's sure, right? I don't think he's sure about that. I'm not sure about that, right? Oh, shit. This is the only major platform that doesn't censor beyond what is legally required, guys. Oh, is there a legal reason to censor this? Huh. I don't think so. Oh, shit. You see what I'm saying, though? You see, I mean, we know this. You know what I'm saying? We know this, right? The people's right to free speech. Great defense of free speech. Free speech is the bedrock of democracy, right? Free speech for the win. Okay? He wants to take away, Tim Walz wants to take away your right to free speech, everybody. Guys, just so you know, it was Tim Walz that took away my free speech yesterday. Dude. But see, the thing that's really bothersome, though, guys, here's what's bothersome about this, is like I said, I could type this same thing and not use Charlie Kirk's name. If I was typing this about Nancy Pelosi, it would not have gotten limited fucking visibility limited. If I did this about Obama or fucking Gavin Newsom, it would not. But if you talk about Charlie Kirk on Twitter, you will get censored. All right. Hold on. Is there more? I want to just see the end of these guys.
Conversation right there. You can get.
Let's see the end of these guys.
For that, and I'm thankful. You're in the Eisenhower Theater, and Bill O'Reilly, a former senator, and Andrew Charlie Kirk's very good friend. He's carrying forward the work on their podcast and on their movement, frankly. And Adam Mockler is part of the vanguard of digital media from the left. Young, smart, and very righteous about what he's doing. And we've been having some hard conversations tonight, and I think that's good. Because if you only had one of them here, here's my point, all right? This is the one thing I'll say about why News Nation works so hard to do this. If it were just Adam, does that really move the needle? Yeah, he's very compelling. But set against what?
See, here's the problem, though. The problem with this whole whatever, this fucking roundtable, is this is bullshit. Because this guy right here, this Andrew Kolvik guy in the TPUSA, they're not a needle that will ever move, okay? They're not. This guy's not a needle mover. You could show him data that refutes his point, and he would claim Jesus, and he would override all your data. This guy is just here to gaslight the rest of us. We show him all the data, and he's going to tell us that we're liars. That's what they do. They gaslight. they come in and say, here's how it is. Okay. And if you say, but here's the data, he says, but Jesus. And then it's like, but the data, but Jesus. Sorry about your data. Jesus is Lord. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. And then he's like hitting the cash register, supporting the adulterer, supporting the Epstein rapist, right? Fucking lying, cheating, stealing, gaslighting. But Jesus, oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah for that money, right? So there's no point in having a discussion with this guy because this guy's not actually having a discussion. This guy is here to gaslight, and the minute you get the best of him, he's going to say, easy, buddy, or wow, you need to fucking calm down. Why are you so aggressive, right? He's going to pull some of that Charlie Kirk shit. You know, you could calm down. Why are you so emotional? Why are you being so agitated, right? He's going to pull some of that fucking more gaslighting abuser shit.
If you had just Andrew, yeah, he's very compelling, but set against what? The conversation is the cure, not for social media, though, in terms of what they want to amplify. But here we're trying to do it differently. We're trying to get us to a better place. I want you to respond to.
Yeah, but the thing is we already watched the conversation, and this conversation was just like social media. It was Andrew being demeaning, belittling, and fucking disregarding. Oh, we think the data, the shit we consider violence wasn't included in that study. Was it your study? Right? Remember? Was it your study? Like, bro, this guy, the way he behaves, this guy is kind of like begging for a fucking a pop in the nose, bro. You know what I mean?
To what we heard from the question the last time, Adam, and then I'll give you another audience question. You said you had something you wanted to say in response to the American University guy who runs the Republican club there and said that people came up and said they were happy that Charlie Kirk had been assassinated.
Yeah, I believe his name was Luke. He said that a bunch of young progressives were coming up and acting in insane ways. And as a young liberal, someone who's on the left, I just want to say I wholeheartedly condemn anybody who is saying insane things about Charlie Kirk, horrendous things about Charlie Kirk. Anyone who is spitting or shutting down conversation, that is not what America is about at all. And I can very easily condemn when my side is going off the rails, but I just ask the bare minimum from Andrew. When they're talking about gas chambers and group chats, can you condemn that?
Are we really going to do this again? No. So, okay.
So you don't condemn it?
Your energy is so aggressive.
I love Hitler,
okay.
Gas chambers.
All right, hold on.
You can't condemn that.
Just easy, buddy. Okay, so there is a whole conversation that I want this to be attached to, okay? And the whole conversation is that we have a guy who's running for attorney general in Virginia.
I condemn that.
Okay,
but you can't condemn your side.
But your party is not disavowing it. It still supports this guy.
Name one Democrat that supports him in Congress who says, I support what he said.
Tim Kaine just got asked on CNN tonight and said, yeah, I still support him.
Supports what he said?
No, he doesn't support what he says, but he's not pulling.
So no Democrat supports what he said.
So you're going to parse. Okay, well, listen. I condemn what they say, but I still support them as people.
Thank you. Why did I have to pry that out of you?
You are parsing.
Dude, what is this guy talking about, bro? Donald Trump said he rapes women. He openly admitted it, and they support him. Like, how clueless is this guy, right? Like, this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, that shit, fucking. This J. Jones shit. Dude, can we look at the J. Jones shit for a minute? The J. Jones text, because J.D. Vance keeps fucking posting this shit. All right, but look at this text, guys. Okay? If you look at this text, somebody says to J. Jones, you weren't simply asking questions, and you know it. And he says, I genuinely was. I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic. And they said, you weren't trying to understand. And he says, yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. Now, while he was typing this, the person added this second thing. You were talking about hopping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. Okay, now, I have not seen a text from J. Jones where he typed, I want so-and-so's kids to die. What we have is this person who released the text has implied in this text bubble that J. Jones said this, that he wanted her kids to die. But where's him saying it? There isn't a text for that. Okay, this thing is very manufactured. And even if you look at this text here, You were talking about hopping Jennifer Gilbert's. It's like they typed it really fast after they sent, you weren't trying to understand. Jay Jones is saying, yes, I was trying to understand, and he's trying to explain it. And that person is typing real fast to where they autocorrect even made it hopping, and it didn't capitalize the Jennifer, which is what happens when you type really, really fast with your thumbs. So they got this extra little thing in there, and then it looks like Jay Jones is saying yes to you were talking about kids hopping, they would die. But there's no text where he says this. This is like very manufactured, okay? Very manufactured. I've not seen a text or anything from Jay Jones where he actually said, I'm saying so-and-so should die, okay? And this, though, is like their big, giant smoking gun with this Jay Jones. Now, first off, can we say that if Jay Jones did, okay, if Jay Jones, in fact, he's trying to get somebody to move on a policy, they won't budge. So if he did sort of think about, well, if something bad happened to their kids, they would probably move on this policy, okay? People have often thought like that. It is very true that when shit affects your own family, you will maybe think differently about the policy. Somebody may not want gun laws until their kids get gunned down, then maybe they want gun laws. But even then, is that distasteful? Yes. Does that mean he should leave office? Like, no, not if we let Trump stay. Like, if we're letting Trump stay in office with all of the negative shit he says, the bombing Fisher boats, the fucking breaking the Constitution, the raping cities with the National Guard, with the constant threats and constant demeaning people. If we let Trump stay in office with that, then you can't hold Democrats accountable for this shit, right? It's like if you want to hold Jay Jones, then you got to hold Donald Trump. I mean, you should be holding Donald Trump to a higher standard than fucking Jay Jones. Like, come on, man. Why do they want to hold Jay Jones to a higher standard than the goddamn president? I'll tell you why. Because they're just trying to get him to lose, okay? They are just trying to get him to lose, and they're trying to claim a moral high ground, even though they are immoral as hell, bro. They are scumbags.
It's basically a distinction without a difference.
J.D. Vance lied on your podcast today. He said these were young.
Whoa, look.
Yeah, I don't understand why this is
I got some journalistic questions for you guys, so listen up. I have a research team, and before I say anything on the air, all right, and I got a worldwide audience.
Dude, you're a fucking sex predator, Bill Riley. Jesus.
Everything that I am going to say as far as analysis has to be backed up by facts. And I cite the facts, which is why I've been in this business for 50 years and have a big house in Montauk. Okay?
Dude, this guy, like, so arrogant, right? Dude, he's such a fucking, so arrogant. You got a big house. Dude, you're a sex predator, right? If I was on that stage sitting with Bill Riley, I would be like, why are you even talking, dude? You are a sex predator. Why are you on this stage right now? Right? Everybody, why is this guy on this stage? I don't care what kind of a newsman you are. I don't care how big your house is. You're a fucking predator and abuser. Get the fuck out of my face, bro. I don't even care what your goddamn opinion is. You know what I mean? Which is probably why I'll never be on that stage. All right? Right? Dude, but again, Cuomo is always fucking covering for the right wingers. Dude, yeah, I wish I was there too, bro. Jesus. Dude, what the fuck, boss?
I want to know where you guys get your information. Where do you get your information?
I have a diverse source. I think that if you just pay attention to online sources...
Just tell me where you get it.
CNN, Politico, but I also watch Fox News. I go online, so I use a lot of online sources.
Okay,
yeah.
So you get your information from the so-called standard media.
I said
CNN,
online, too.
This kind of MS, do you watch that?
No, I don't really watch the news. I read articles and I go online a lot.
Okay, so you read. Do you read any conservative publications?
Fox News, and part of my job is debating every day, so I do read a lot of Fox. I watch a lot of Charlie Kirk as well.
Do you have a favorite publication that you go to on a fact-based
Dude, what is this guy even talking about, bro? Dude, I'm like so annoyed by this guy.
I read the Wall Street Journal every morning, all right? Liberal news pages, conservative editorial pages. And then I get other papers too, but that paper I trust more than the others. Do you have a favorite?
New York Times.
Now, that says something.
What does that say?
So does the Journal.
Well, it's, as I just pointed out, you've got both represented in that paper. The New York Times is a left-wing paper. I'm sure you know that.
Sure. I mean, they have
That's where you're going for your information. How about yourself? Where do you go?
I go to also a variety. For example, I read the Politico story that's in question. I happen to have a background in PR, so I'm a little bit different. So I actually read a lot of New York Times because I know the journalists there.
Okay,
so
but you need...
Dude, he doesn't even tell us where he goes. Oh, I have a PR background. He read the Political story and he reads some New York Times. Dude, you know he reads Breitbart and the Post-Millennial and fucking the Washington Examiner. Dude, he probably doesn't read, dude. He reads fucking Cosmopolitan magazine right before he gives it a tug in his mom's bathroom, dude. Dude, he's like 41 years living on his mom's couch, bro. Seriously, that's what he reads. We know it.
To sell Turning Point to young people. Mm-hmm. Where do those facts come from?
It just literally depends on the story. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not trying to evade.
No. National Guard going to cities to control mayhem. Where would you get facts on that?
Well, I knew a lot of the journalists that were on the ground covering this story, so
Oh, yeah, he's going to go to Katie Davis Court and fucking Nick Sortor. Journalists, right?
So you would go to those
Yeah, for example, when Nick Sortor got arrested, I called him.
Okay.
When Katie Davis Court got...
Do you know what happened in 1963 with John F. Kennedy?
I possibly do. Which
no,
reference?
You don't. I'm not trying to demean either of you. Do you know what happened in 1963 with John Kennedy?
John F. Kennedy in 1963. He got...
No. Policy.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say,
you don't
that's
know.
a big thing.
Now,
is there a point?
Yeah, where are you leading us?
Here's the point.
Okay, thank you.
These guys are very successful.
Yes.
They don't know enough. And I'll just give you a brief. Kennedy, 1963, Alabama, George Wallace, would not obey federal integration law.
Yeah, again, though, he's going to talk about, oh, they sent the National Guard to fucking, right? They sent the National Guard to Alabama to prevent the civil rights of black people being fucking crushed, okay, is what happened, all right? Wallace was like letting the KKK rule the roost, and JFK sent the National Guard in. But there's a huge difference there. One of them, you're sending the National Guard in to protect Americans, okay, and people that reside in America, people on American soil. In another one, you're trying to send the National Guard in to attack Americans, to fucking hunt, right? Oh, Portland's not hunting immigrants well enough, so we're going to go force them to fucking hunt. I mean, to me, that's very different, right? You know, right, but like, bro, I don't know, dude. You send in the National Guard to thwart the KKK? That seems reasonable, okay? But like, dude, the protesters aren't fucking taking away people's civil rights, man. You know, but this guy is like...
Would not obey. Kennedy sent 17,000 U.S. soldiers to Alabama. 17,000 guard.
Eisenhower did it before him, and on both bases, it was different than what we're dealing with today. And it's very, very different than what we're dealing with today.
If you look at what Kennedy did, it's the same exact thing as not obeying U.S. immigration law.
No, it's not.
No, it's not, dude. See, this is bullshit.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't, because they're not disobeying the law.
You look it up.
The states are not disobeying the law. ICE is doing its job in those
federal
municipalities.
Law.
It's not like Wallace not letting the kid into the school.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, thank you. All right. Dude, I'm going to give Cuomo, I'm going to give him props where props are due because at least he's not letting him wriggle away, dude. It is like very different, boss.
Disagree.
It's exactly the same.
I don't agree.
I know you don't.
I know, but let me get the audience question, and then we can keep the conversation going.
Yeah, dude, let's shut you up. Let's get the sex predator to shut the fuck up because he's annoying, dude.
Point that I wanted to make, because I think these guys are bright, and I think that they're well-intentioned. You got to know as much as you can know. And you can't go to the New York Times and think you know the story.
Dude, where does Bill O'Reilly go to get his fucking stories, right? Dude, fucking Playboy? Like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? Like, honestly, Bill O'Reilly's like, you can't just go to the New York Times. Where do you go to, Bill? You fucking shit kicker? Dude, he goes to Hustler magazine and fucking centerfold and is like, oh, yeah, I got the facts now. I'm gonna go make sure I don't fall off the toilet. Dude, Jesus Christ,
and you can't go to people who are in Turning Point and think you know the story.
Voters don't.
You've got to be skeptical. You have got to seek it.
Are you referring to the invocation of the Insurrection Act?
Yes,
Yes.
he is.
The Insurrection Act says that in order for the president to mobilize them, they have to be defying state law. So in segregation, they were defying state law.
I'm sure you know what the supremacy clause is. Federal law trumps state law.
Yeah, but there's a second part. The 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗶𝗫 Act then says
that has nothing to do with immigration law.
Cannot act as
𝗙cie𝗶𝗶𝗫 has nothing to do with immigration
law. What law is Chicago breaking, or at least the people in Chicago?
Chicago is a sanctuary city and state because of
Again, what law did they break in?
Politicians.
So it's legal in Chicago?
No, they will not cooperate with the federal government in finding people here illegally. That is a violation, just as George Wallace would not cooperate with the federal government.
Except they litigated the sanctuary city laws, and they were found to be constitutional. So it doesn't meet the criteria.
You're going to lose in the Supreme Court, and then
then do it.
Bill. Dude, what a fucking dink, bro.
Oh, that's called justice. That's called justice. You just said revenge is wrong, retribution is right. That's just petty vengeance. Let's have your question. What is
it? Bill O'Reilly. Dude, get the sex predator off the stage, bro.
Hi, my name is Mike. I'm from Reston, Virginia. I'm a small business owner, renewable energy. And
speak up a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dude, Bill O'Reilly is like, this guy's like taking over the panel, bro. He is, dude. What an attention seeker. And he's dumb as shit, too, bro. Broken clocks remain broken. Dude, yeah, I know. This guy is like, dude, like fucking, oh, they're breaking federal law. Dude, Bill O'Reilly would be sending the military to every like marijuana shop in America, dude. Right? If Bill O'Reilly was in charge, dude, the 81st Airborne would be bombing your local pot shop. And he'd be like, federal law! It's like, Bill, you just wiped out an entire fucking, like, neighborhood of people. He'd be like, federal law, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗶𝗫. Where's my Hustler magazine? Dude, what a fucking dink, bro. Dude, where's Adam tell him off? Does Adam tell him off or something? Because I need to get off this, bro. I can't watch much more of this, dude. This shit is killing me, boss. I'm ready to fucking take a swing at Bill O'Reilly. Does Adam tell him off at some point? Is it during a question? Is it after a question? If Adam tells him off, I'll grab it. Dude. The old man yells at a cloud. Dude, he's definitely yelling at a cloud. This guy's question. All right, here we go. Let's see.
I heard that Turning Point was planning an alternative Super Bowl halftime show.
Yes.
I wanted to know if that's true and why.
Yeah, you know, actually the truth is we are planning an alternative halftime show, and it basically was something that memed itself into existence. We joked about it on a show, a streaming show with Tim Pool, me and another guest named 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗶𝗫, who maybe you might know. And the audience response was so immediate and viral, and our inbox was flooded that we sort of said, Maybe we should think about this. And then we got a bunch of emails from actual, corporate media saying, is this true? Is this true? And I was like, well, it wasn't, but maybe we should consider it. And
yeah, but is he going to say why?
I think it was just an organic outflow of the fact that a lot of people are offended at maybe some of the programming that is being planned for the Super Bowl and maybe some of the commentary that's come off of that. But also, I like to think it's more of a positive thing because, with the memorial of Charlie Kirk, and we had, 120 million people streaming that. And we saw that beautiful worship music, and it was a very
beautiful worship music. Dude, there is nothing that made me gag, dude, more than fucking their pathetic fake funeral fucking cash grab with Trump trying to stick his tongue down Erica Kirk's throat and her with the phoniest tears you've ever seen.
Exciting moment for a lot of people, maybe not everybody, but for a lot of people. It was really beautiful, and I think people still had that feeling in their hearts about
Who's
that.
Who's going to be the entertainer? Who are you bringing in?
We're not ready to make any.
Dude, it's going to be Kid Rock and fucking Lee Greenwood and maybe Ted Nugent and his traveling chorus of 13-year-old backup singers, right? That he's having sex with, right? Like, what the fuck, bro?
Announced.
Not ready.
He's making his
This
bid.
time I'm going to push back against you a little bit.
All right. Well, I kind of like the malicious rabbit. I think the
malicious rabbit.
Yeah.
I want to.
I'm giving the bunny a chance.
Thank you for your question. I want to thank you guys for this tonight. About I can't tell what right.
Is that the end?
And I'll just let you know now.
All right, that's the end.
It's not adequate.
All right, there we go, dude. There we go, dude. These guys, bro. Dude, fuck, bro. They're like, they are cringe. Yeah, no, we're done with that. So I have an update for you guys, okay? I wanted to share something with you. And guys, this is kind of special. But so yesterday, what we looked at yesterday was we looked at that young woman. Remember Kylie Delgado who blocked in that ICE vehicle, okay? So what I was able to find is I found this, guys. Okay. Let me find the video. I have a video of her. She did a Facebook story. Okay. Afterwards. Okay. So I want to go over this. This is a little update about, so this is the woman. All right. If you watch my video that was blowing up today, it's this video right here. On the YouTube channel, it was this one right here. It's doing good. 55,000 views, 54,000 views. Portland Patriots block ICE, right? It was the video we watched yesterday where she found out ICE was in Hillsborough. She blocked him off with her truck. She called out to people. Somebody else blocked him in. They kept him there until other guys showed up and ICE drove over the lawns. Okay, so now she obviously has been going viral. All the right-wing people have been posting, doxing her and saying this is Kylie, and they're trying to get her arrested. She has not been arrested, but so she decided to make a little video talking about the experience, what happened, why they did it, and about PIRC. It's called PERC, which is I think this is important, guys, because if you know anybody who is undocumented or people who are Hispanic that might get threatened, PERC. Write this number down, okay? This number is really important. There are resources to help people if they get detained by ICE, okay? But anyway, and there's fucking, an address for the alerts. But I think we should watch her because she's really amazing. Okay, and she kind of tells you a little bit of why she's been doing this stuff and what we can do as people. All right, you ready? So let's give Kylie a little bit of fucking time, dude, because I mean it's amazing that this is the person who's taken on ICE. Like we could all do more to be like her.
This is the first time I've ever recorded myself on TikTok, so forgive me if I'm awkward or stumble through it. But how did this end? The second ICE vehicle, which was carrying the third ICE officer, pulled up And as we were distracted, the original vehicle, which was the minivan carrying 2 ICE officers, pulled around into the apartment complex, ran over a couple of hedges that were probably 6 feet tall and got away. A couple other comrades followed them all the way up to Highway 26, which has a pretty fast speed limit, so they got away from that point. But we were able to report their vehicles, their faces, their VIN numbers, and that's kind of what I wanted to post about today. I wanted to let everyone know what the best next steps are if you're going to do something like this. First, if you're in Portland, Hillsborough, anywhere in Oregon really, please get very comfortable with the acronym PIRC. It's the Portland Immigrants' Rights Coalition. I'll put their number in this video. The very first thing you should do if you ever see ICE activity, suspect ICE activity, is call PERC. PERC will notify the ACLU. They will notify all of the trusted orgs in the area, as well as try to find the person being harassed or detained and locate their family.
See, this is a really big part of this, guys, because the thing that we don't realize is what she just said there, why you want to call PERC the Portland resource. Because, okay, so some guy leaves his house in the morning and he goes to work, and maybe he goes and gets a bite to eat in his lunch hour, and then he gets kidnapped by ICE. But his family, his boss, nobody knows he got kidnapped by ICE. Nobody knows where he is at all. And in fact, once they've gotten kidnapped or whatever, nobody even knows where ICE put them, right? So the point being is that when this happens, their family members and workplace concerns where there's probably a vehicle, maybe a car is sitting in a parking lot somewhere, and nobody even knows what happened to the person. And now this is really, really fucking important to realize that these guys are just grabbing people and they're not doing any notification. The US government is grabbing individuals off the street, sending them to Louisiana, sending them to Florida, and they're not even notifying the families. Okay? There is no fucking, right? There is there's no due process. There's no notification system. There's no like, oh, we call the family and let them know that so-and-so was picked up and here's where he is. Even when you get a lawyer, there's like, the lawyers have trouble finding them. There's no transparency, and there's not even an attempt to like be responsible in how they manage the people. So that's where like the thing like PERC comes in, is they're there to do that. Okay. They're there to figure out who just got kidnapped, and then they go find the family and try to find where the person ends up. And I mean, the fact that we have to have an immigrants' rights coalition do this because our government is just operating completely in secrecy with no regards. Okay. They have no regard for the people's lives that they're fucking disrupting. None. No regard whatsoever.
They will push it out further than any of us as individuals can. So PERC, P-I-R-C, call them first. Second is the stopicealerts.net. If you post on stopicealerts.net, you can either post confirmed or just suspected sightings of ICE, and this will push out to all of their subscribers. I'm subscribed to the list, and I get those notifications within minutes, and then I'm able to jump in my car and get to where I need to go. And sometimes this is way faster than anything organized. You can also post to Facebook if you're comfortable, TikTok, Instagram. You can establish a small network of friends, coworkers, family that you're in a group chat with, whether it's Signal or just a regular text message chat, and you share each other's locations, and you just say, can anyone be in this location to film, at the very least to film and document within the next 5 minutes? Because sometimes these things take 5 minutes, sometimes they take 2 hours, but the faster you get there, the better. Sorry, I have notes because there's a lot I want to get through. what you need to film the faces of the individuals being detained and the individuals doing the detaining. So whether they present themselves as ICE officers, they might lie and say they're local PD, they might say that they're DHS, they might say they're customs enforcement. They use a lot of different ways to confuse. They will not have a warrant. They will not have a proper badge. If they do have a badge, it will be a solid gold, probably say Department of Homeland Security, ICE, something like that. They probably don't have jurisdiction where you are. They probably cannot arrest you for filming, and even if they do, that's it's not a big deal. Get their names, the names of the people being detained. Have them yell them to you if you cannot get close enough. That's very important because report to PERC. They're able to locate those people's families and get things in order to have them released and have the ACLU involved. Badges, if you can take a photo of badges, if you can just get a photo of the items that these people are wearing, that's important. VIN numbers, if you can get to the VIN number, that's amazing. VIN numbers usually—
This is important. So first off, somebody asked if she's in a Tesla, and no, she's not in a Tesla. She's in a giant, like, extra cab truck. A fucking massive extra cab truck. The one she was in yesterday in the video. It's a big black truck. But one of the things that's important here is about getting VIN numbers, right? Which, if you look at a car, the dashboard on the driver's side, the VIN number is inside the window there on a little metal ticker. Like if you look in the window on the driver's side. And it's really important because they change the license plates or take them off. So the VIN number is a way of identifying what vehicles are fucking are ICE.
Usually on the front dash of the car, it's like a 15-digit serial code. Those are better than license plates because they can change their license plates, and they do often because these are rental vehicles. If you can't get the VIN, go ahead and get the license plate number. Get the car's make, model, color. Very important. The last thing I want to say is how important it is to be engaged in your community in times like these. And the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Right now. So people who you know are sympathetic to the cause, people who you know are vulnerable to the cause, you need to connect those two groups. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. I just witnessed another violent arrest this morning and it broke my heart. But we were able to find his family. We were able to call PERC. We were able to get his sister on location, and we were able to do the best we could in this situation. I'm hopeful because I see the response to videos like mine, and I just wish and hope that other people see this and they get inspired, they feel mobilized, they use their privilege if they have it, and they connect to their communities. If you want more guidance on specifically how to do that, please reach out to me in my DMs. They are open. I will get to you as soon as I can, but I have years and years and years of experience doing this, and my community is insane, amazing, beautiful, and we have it down pat. And I'm really happy to share those secrets, share those tips with you. Anyways, thank you for all the views and all of the support, and fuck ICE.
So there you go. All right, there you go. That is an update on what is going on. And yes, learn how to ask people their names. Yes, dude. I think getting their names and getting their fucking getting their names and trying to figure out who they are and that number, right? In Portland, it'll help. If you are, obviously, if you're not in Portland, you can look online and try and figure out what resources are available to you, okay? There are local resources in most of the cities that are operating. I am sure that there are resources that are available. You just need to figure them out. But I think, though, what she said was really important before she started crying, okay? She said, I don't know if you glossed over this, but she said, find the people who are sympathetic to the cause in your neighborhood, in your friend group, in your workplace, and find the people who are vulnerable to being detained or being shipped away, and make sure those two communities meet. And I think that is really, really important, okay? If you know people who are undocumented or who are Hispanic that are potentially could get fucking, you know, abducted by these guys because they're taking people with real IDs. They're taking people with passports. They're being pretty indiscriminate about it. So if you know Hispanic people and you know undocumented people, introduce them to the people in your community that are sympathetic to the cause. So they have backup, okay? Like that way, if somebody gets clipped, they can say, call so-and-so, right? If his wife doesn't speak English, he has an English-speaking neighbor that he can say, call so-and-so at this number. You know what I mean? And that kind of shit can only happen when we help make those connections. Because a lot of these people, guys, there's a language barrier, okay? A lot of these people don't speak any English, okay? They may not speak any English. So in the heat of the moment, right, it's like they may, you know, if everybody around them is English speaking and they're, you know, Spanish speaking, if they know somebody to call that speaks English, that's helpful, right? Then there's not that language barrier. So I think it's really important making that connection, you know, and you're right. They don't. They are basically just racially profiling everybody and fucking jacking them, you know? And it's really fucking sad, boss. It is, dude. This shit is fucking super fucking sad, bro. Shit is some bullshit, all right? It is. This shit is some fucking bullshit, bro. All right, let's see what we got. Somebody said Robbie got out, road steamer. You know, I mean, I don't know what his thing was, right? Oh, nice. They're fucking, right? There's somebody's posting a video of a homeless man overdosing. Like, why would you do that? Like, my God, dude. Oh, look at this shit. Let's fucking go, dude. Portland, enshrined by code, Portland is a sanctuary city, right? Portland's sanctuary city status is now part of the city code. Portland City Council unanimously passed an ordinance prohibiting all city employees and resources from assisting any federal agency with immigration enforcement. This ordinance also requires the creation of policies, trainings, and resources to guide how we handle interaction with immigration agents. So they just passed that today. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Thank you, Portland. Dude, responding, dude, fuck Trump. I mean, there's other things, guys, that, can I just tell you, like, the right-wingers are pissed. I did not know that. No, a Brewers fan said call ice to another fan and got fired. All right. Milwaukee woman threatens to call ICE on Latino man. You know what? Let's call ICE. The man says, I'm a U.S. citizen, war veteran, 2 wars. Dude, no kings. Let's go, baby. Dude, that's 2 days away, dude. Fontucky, if you have a link to any resources, you can put them in the Discord under the organization. And he's a U.S. citizen. She had to resign from her seat on the Make-A-Wish Foundation. All right. 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗪𝗏 also took a swing at the man. Dude, what the fuck, bro?
Last night's Brewers game, a woman threatens to call Immigration and Customs Enforcement on a Dodgers fan.
You know what? Let's call ICE.
Call ICE. Call ICE. I'm a U.S. citizen. War veteran, baby girl. War veteran, 2 wars.
Tonight, the man recording that video speaking to 12 News. TJ 𝗙𝗪𝗏 leads
Dude, what the fuck, bro? Look at her, bro. Dude. Dude, she is like the Karenist of all Karens. A fucking pencil-necked white woman with like the worst like 1962 haircut you've ever seen. Dude, I mean, guys, can I just tell you that like I grew up 50 miles from Milwaukee. There's a lot of racists in Wisconsin. It was really bad, guys. When I was younger, like racism in Watertown, I was just there a couple years ago after my mom died. It's really bad. Dude, Wisconsin's racism problem is really fucking bad. But see, she sees a Hispanic guy who, I know, dude, that is like, dude, look at her, though. She just looks like a fucking dumb shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
TJ 𝗙𝗏😗 leads us off outside of American Family Field with that video and the fallout that we've seen from it. TJ?
Yeah, Blake, that man says he is a U.S. citizen and a military veteran. He says this all started as friendly banter between him and Brewers fans here in his section here at the ballpark last night. He says that that one fan took things way too far.
That this Karen... Dude,
Dodgers super
they
fan
had good
Ricardo
seats.
𝗙𝗏𝗏 behind the camera Tuesday night during Game 2 of the NLCS in Milwaukee.
You see the excitement of the fans, and yeah, I mean, they let me know where I was at. So it was cool, playful. Yeah, like you said, it was baseball.
Later, he records the Dodgers take a 3-1 lead.
I'm gonna start cheering, you know, clapping, doing what Dodger fans do.
Why is everybody quiet? Wait, what is this?
That's when 𝗙𝗏𝗏
Oh,
says,
shit. Oh, dude, why is everybody quiet? he was agitating a little bit, but still, you don't have to call ice. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Come on, Karen.
A woman wearing a Brewers shirt said this.
You know what? Let's call ice.
Call ice. Call ice. I'm a U.S. citizen, war veteran, baby girl. War veteran, 2 wars.
The woman appears to swing at the camera.
Good luck. Good luck.
𝗙𝗏𝗏 admits after the swing,
Dude.
he called the woman an expletive off camera. He says security then kicked him out of the stadium.
Dude, he called the woman an expletive off camera. Dude, I think I would have called her the expletive on camera. But goddamn, dude. Dude, what is up with these pencil-necked Karens, bro? Dude, doesn't she? She does look like if Tina Fey played the evil Karen, dude. Dude, Tina Fey could play this woman, bro. Oh, dude. Pencil neck. Oh, shit.
Since then, the video and the woman's comments have been viewed on social media more than 2 million times.
It just shows the level of where a person's heart is and how she really feels as a human being.
12 News confirmed the woman is 𝗫𝗫𝗃, an attorney at Milwaukee-based staffing firm Manpower. The company told 12 News Wednesday, quote, as soon as we became aware of this video, the individual was placed on immediate leave, and we began an investigation.
Oh, Manpower! Ice power!
As a result of this process, the employee is no longer with the organization. Make-A-Wish Wisconsin said, quote, Shannon resigned from our board of directors this afternoon, effective immediately.
See, you know what's fucked up? Is she's probably going to start a GoFundMe, right? And her and Shannon Hendricks are going to fucking pair up, dude. She's going to make like 500 grand.
Declined to comment for this story.
Call ice. Call ice.
𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏 says he didn't intend for the video to go viral, but says all there is left to do is carry on.
Her heart is where it's at. You know, I can't do anything about it. Nothing that I say will change her thoughts about me.
Now, TJ, you did reach out to the Brewers
to find out if they've seen the viral video. We did not hear back from the team tonight.
That's right.
Dude, it's hard though. There's a lot of racism in baseball, guys. I hate to say it. I just recently started being a baseball fan, and baseball is a lot of white Christian fucking people. It is a lot of racism in baseball. It's just dominantly white Christians, and you know, it's pretty bad, dude. All right, it's pretty bad. But fucking A, bro. Portland is a sanctuary city. We watched yeah, there is no chaos. There's no chaos until ICE shows up. All right. Robbie got released, right? The road streamer. Dude, this is funny, bro. Right? Right? This is funny, dude. Look at this shit. That's the protest. So I know there was something else I wanted to show you guys, okay? Is on the Oregonian, okay? Because this is about the Portland thing, okay? Because, so check this out, all right? Let's go to the Oregonian, because I want to show you the difference between like truth and disinformation, which we already know, but there's a lot of disinformation that's being spread by the right-wing influencers, because basically, guys, what we have going is this, is there a protest here? Yeah, there's protests in Portland, okay? And they've been protesting ICE off and on for months. They're not huge. They max out at like 100 people, but there's been an ongoing protest because we are a sanctuary city and we don't agree with those feds being here. Now, the right-wing people come in every night and they try to start shit, okay? They are doing whatever they can. They're coming in and trying to start fights. They're trying to record whatever viral content. They go around looking for someone who will say, I'm a Portlander and my business has gotten broken into, or these riots are making my life bad, or I guess tonight they were filming a homeless guy die of a drug overdose. And they are just exclusively trying to create viral content to generate some excuse to send the National Guard. But it's all bullshit, okay? It's all bullshit, because obviously, so long as more police resources are being required downtown for shit happening on a regular Portland day than is being sent to the ICE facility, there's no reason to, unless buildings are burning and people are getting attacked in the streets, there's no fucking reason for more help, okay? It's all bullshit. But the other part of their deal is to create this illusion of Antifa, okay? They are here trying to make it look like this protest is funded by Act Blue or George Soros or Antifa, the organization. Now, here's what I thought was really interesting. Let me find the video. I have to go into my history real quick and get it because I did not bookmark it. Maybe it was on Instagram. Let me check here. All right. Okay, here. Look at this. Oh, it was Oregon Live. Okay, you ready? So here's what we have. So I'm gonna show you two things here. It wasn't the Oregonian, it was Oregon Live. So what we had online was we have the right-wing influencers like Katie Davis-Court, who fucking blocked me. Right? She blocked me because she's a fucking scumbag. But so she is down there. Let me see if she posted Antifa shit. Okay. She's probably down here posting like, oh, they're bringing in supplies. Okay. Okay. Oh, here's one. Okay. So this guy, Nick Shirley, this is one of the guys from the round table. And he's like, look, the protesters have received a U-Haul full of gear as they set up for stuff. So basically they like the organizers brought a U-Haul full of costumes and the pop-up and the coolers and all that shit. Okay? Now, they are, right? They have a U-Haul that they collectively rented and bringing all this shit. Okay? So they rented a U-Haul truck for a day or whatever, filled with shit. And they brought a bunch of costumes. And these guys were making a big deal that like, oh, they're providing costumes for people to wear. Okay? Right? Oh no, costumes. Oh, Antifa. But then, so what Oregon Live did was Oregon Live went and talked, like the real journalists went in and talked to the costume makers. Okay.
These are inflatable costumes for anybody to come and have for free and take home with them, protest in them.
Okay, so this is the woman who provided the costumes. This is Molly, okay? And she's part of this. And so they have, now again, guys, it is very organized here, okay? The people that protest here, there is a network of people that, like, they all chip in, they all fucking combine money. Like this, there's a group of people, like how people go camping together, or people go to fucking, Oregon Ducks games together, or they go fishing together, or there might be a group of women that go to the park and have yoga and barbecues and shit. There's a group of people in Portland that protest together, okay? It's not some international funded terrorist cell of Antifa. It's just a bunch of activists. Like, there's a lot of activists that moved to Oregon and moved to the Pacific Northwest. They used to protest logging out in Eastern Oregon. They've been doing this for a long time, okay? They were the people that were doing like Occupy Democrat shit long before Occupy Democrats was a thing. And I mean, some of these people are people from like the Oregon Country Fair. I mean, we've just had a long history of like hippie activism and rebellion against logging and environmental damage. It's like a long history. Like, young people move to Portland to meet these people and become part of this network. And again, though, it is homegrown, okay? It is not some bullshit fucking like Antifa terrorist cell. It's just literally people that live for this shit. And they go to raves together, they go to Burning Man together, right? And then they do this shit together, okay? But so she explains how they all pitched in to make costumes available, okay?
These are inflatable costumes for anybody to come and have for free and take home with them, protest in them over and over again if they want to. We were watching clips of the frog and it was like, we should just do this. We should just buy a bunch of them. And so everybody started chipping in and it blew up really big, really fast. We purchased like 160 something, and I think we've given out about half of those, and then this is what we have left right now. But we're bringing more, like at least like 20 every day. I mean, everybody wants a frog, and people like the unicorns a lot, and the chickens actually. It just shows how ludicrous all of this is. These are not violent protesters. These are American protesters. It's a serious threat to democracy. If you watch the news in Chicago, they've started doing it, and we've gotten inquiries from a lot of different people in different cities who want to start doing it there too.
So there you go, okay? There you go, all right? It is a group of people, right? They created a website, operationinflation.com, where you can contribute $35 to provide an inflatable costume for a true American. Okay, so it's people that literally just put together a website. I mean, this shit ain't hard to do. You know what I'm saying? You ask for donations. It's like a GoFundMe, and then they organize it and they send it out and they make costumes available for people. And people are showing up. Operation Inflation. Okay, it's an ad hoc project. It's not a registered nonprofit, okay? There's people that are volunteering to do this to fight for their democracy. You know what I mean? But like, what's wild to me about this, guys, here's what's wild to me. What's wild to me is how all of the like right-wingers, all of like the Nick Shirleys of the world, they're like, how could you do this? Like, this has to be a grand funded global Antifa network operation. But like, they don't understand like what community is like. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've always been a part of a community. Okay. In the 90s, I was part of the music community, and we used to band together and we used to throw shows, okay, at a VFW or in a warehouse somewhere, right? We would band together and we would all pitch in, and everybody would pitch in for kegs and food, and we'd hire a couple big guys we knew to be security, and then all of us would come and like share that shit, right? But we weren't being funded by some ginormous operation. And I mean, I did a version of this when I went across the country, okay? I would do like DIY shit where I would get together with networks of people all over the country that put on shows, okay? I would meet kids in North Dakota. And the next time I would roll through North Dakota, I would play for 50 people in a storage unit with like, you know, like fucking black lights and strobe lights and shit that everybody brought. A community would bring shit together and we would have this big fucking event, okay? And I've done this organized all around the country, man. Like a lot of people that exist in communities, right? People that are used to relying upon each other, especially, you know, if there's LGBTQ people and minority people that have had to build these kind of communities to not get roughed up. It's like people do this all the fucking time, okay? But they can't comprehend it, right? The minute they see people come together, it's like, whoa, like they must be funded. You must be funded. You, right? But like, dude, I mean, let's look at a fucking Trump rally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, look at all these fucking idiots, bro. They all have signs. They're all wearing hats. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. These, like, look at this shit. Dude, these fucking goons, bro. You know, like, what are they talking about? Like, are all these people paid? They're all carrying shit. The one black guy in the venue is going to be right behind Trump on camera. Fucking shitters. Like, what are they fucking talking about? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a fucking break, dude. These guys, clowns, bro. They can't comprehend, right? We do know a lot of those were paid. Well, that's just it, guys. I think they pay. I think they pay for that shit. They astroturf all their shit, so they assume we do too. And yeah, dude, we get accused of their crimes always, dude. You know what I'm saying? Dude, yeah, the same 5 black guys at every rally sitting right behind Trump. The only black guys he'll let within 100 feet of him, dude. Right? Every other black guy has to go to the urban development department. Dude, come on, man. Like, these guys are fucking clowns, bro. They are. Clowns, I say. All right. I think I'm gonna go make some videos, guys. Dude, I overstayed a little bit, but that's all good. Dude, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Dude, it's time for the dance party, baby. Let's get into it. Dude, I know. I saw somebody say that. Isn't it wild that Elon Musk was offering $1 million a day to get people to sign his little petition so they could harvest their ballots? $1 million per day. And they want to talk about Antifa. They want to argue about people making signs. They were literally paying people to fucking vote. Fucking pieces of shit, bro. Like, what are we even doing? Dude, they're such fucking scumbags, bro. Such fucking scumbags. But, all right. I'm going to get limber. Oh. All right. Dude, my Mariners are, like, falling apart, boss. We were up 2-0. Now it's 2-2, bro. I'm not pleased, boss. Had to move OC because Megan had a stroke. Dude, who's Megan? Trump labeling Antifa. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, yeah, I mean, we can't really worry too much about Trump, though, because Trump labeling Antifa, like, you know, I mean, how are they going to prove you're Antifa? A lot of this shit is going to fold with the fucking courts, right? Trump is a fucking goon, bro. I mean, I think part of it, I'll be honest, I think part of the Antifa designation right now is they're trying to go after Act Blue, guys. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious what they're after, okay? If you look at Trump and you look at the way he's been attacking like Bolton and Comey, the Act Blue is how the Democrats raise money, okay? Act Blue. And it's a very well, like, it's right, like Democrats get a lot of donations from individuals, way more than the Republican Party. And Act Blue is like a huge moneymaker. And so they are trying to put a wrench into the spokes of Act Blue. They want to dismantle the Democrats' money-making, like, you know, fucking, right? That's the money raising, the fundraising arm of the entire Democratic Party. And I believe that's his number one goal, okay, is to fucking, to try to, if they like can't destroy it, just to try to do what he did to Obamacare, right? To just fucking crack, you know, any holes, break any windows he can in Act Blue. He really wants to dismantle the Democratic money machine because it's way more effective than the Republican one. Dude, your girl? Oh, let's go. Dude, yeah, we'll have to chat at some point. So you live in Orange County now? Dude? Oh, no, you live in Oregon City. Oh, you live in OC, Oregon City. Dude, Jake, do you go to Eric? Does Eric and fucking, what's his name? Kyle, they still have a fucking that pizza restaurant, don't they? You ever go there? The fucking wood-fired pizzas or whatever? Dude, Eric calls me every once in a while, dude. I never really pick up because he always calls at the worst time. Dude, he has the worst timing. But he fucking calls me every once in a while, like every 6 or 7 months. I get a call from him. Dude, oh shit. Yeah, baby. All right, you ready? Let's go! Oh! All right, it's time to dance. Oh, little deja vu? Dude, Trump is a crack hole. I second that. All right. You're from Eugene, let's go. Let's go, baby. It's time for a little deja vu. Let's get this dance party going. Oh!
Been here before.
not my best dance ever, but I'll take it. You could be underneath my shoe. Let's go. All right. Dude, thank you guys. Let's see what we got coming up musically. Version of dancing is moshing. Moshing is good. I used to do a lot of moshing when I was younger. I'm a little too old for that now. You will not be missed, 'cause you don't give a shit. Can I make something good out of this? Let's go! You could be late, you could be true. You could be underneath my shoe. The only one who's strong. And I'll be devastated if I'm wrong. I am the one you love to hate, but you cannot devastate. It will be interesting, I'm sure. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow, baby. We're going to go out with a little radiant. Let's go, guys. I love you. Thank you and good night.
I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't want to hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. about you. I would never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they say. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Freedom. Misdirection, you know I'm through with you. Your hoops are my obsessions, always jumping through. I'm so tangled, I'm so worthy. I'm just lost in my reflection. Pay attention. You never will. I will overanalyze and fall victim. But when I'm lowest, time to get to know myself. I'm still tangled, I'm not worried, 'cause I am caught up in this perfection. Pay attention, yeah, you never will. 'Cause you depend, so you always will. Did like I did.